Three, two, one, and it's now basically 9 o'clock.
And we're back.
And
Round two.
Yep, this thing is full of coffee. So there's a couple of developments. Let's see, are we actually live or not? We are. All right.
There we go.
So since we've been gone,
Looks like Biden's going to take Pennsylvania and Trump's going to take Florida.
yeah. Does that wash each other out, you think? What's the deal?
I don't know, because apparently North Carolina is going to go for Biden. But I still don't see, like, some of these numbers don't make sense. And apparently on Google, like, it has, like, Trump 54, Biden, like, 41%, and it has, like, Biden winning.
One thing I've noticed so far is we've checked a few different sources of what the fuck's going on, and each source has like different stuff.
Yeah.
A different amount of stuff reported back so far.
Fox, for whatever reason, has much quicker, like, they are much quicker to give a state to a one of one of the candidates than like Google
the other ones
is.
are. Yeah, it's weird, man. All right, so what were we talking about before? Let's talk about a couple of those things we were just saying.
What were we talking about?
You want to start off? Let's see what's going on in New Jersey. Actually, on the ballot in New Jersey right now. I know the captain's excited here. On the ballot in New Jersey today, right? It's on the ballot.
Yeah.
Right now is legalizing marijuana, and I totally forgot about that. But this guy here reminded me. So let's see what's going on. What's the? They gonna do it or what?
Let's see.
We checked in on Alex Jones too, and he doesn't even appear to be at the podcast. At least when we last checked. I'm not sure what happened there.
21% reporting in, 66% yes.
Yeah, it's going to get legalized. Yeah. If you're against marijuana legalization at this point, just give up.
You've never tried it. That's the problem.
Not even that. Don't smoke it. If you don't like it, don't smoke it. Yeah. No one's gonna, like, some hippie's not gonna come to your fucking house with a joint and ram it down your throat.
Yeah. Inhale.
Yeah. Let people do what they want.
We got 30 seconds till more polls are closing. Slowly sweeping the nation.
Yeah. So what's your so of what you see so far? What is your?
Well, there's no.
How you feel? How you feeling over there, Mr.
I'm feeling a little
Trump?
bit better, but
better.
I thought there was going to be a lot of like insane biasness, but it's nowhere near from over. This is still very early.
It's early. It's early. I'm trying to think back to 2016. I know you hate this, but I'm not feeling too confident for Trump because I'm just not feeling confident for Trump because back in 2016, I remember he was leading like from start to finish throughout the night. It wasn't by a lot, but I kept thinking, I'm like, okay, like.
Oh, we'll see. Hey, listen. There's still the real possibility that Biden wins. So,
and
that's what would happen,
right? And as of right now, 9:02. Last I checked, the Electoral College votes were like 91 Biden, 75 Trump,
and
you need what? 270. You need 270 electoral, to win. So now Texas, they're showing Texas now 56% of the vote is in. Biden's winning, but with 50% to Trump's 48.7.
Yeah,
that's very close. That could swing.
And that's how Florida
could swing
was
either way.
Oh, yes. The popular vote. Trump's winning the popular vote.
Trump is winning the popular vote by about 1 million so far. You also have to factor in the popular vote, though. All the ones we were talking about before, those mail-in ballots that are like going to come in real late.
Yeah,
you got to factor those in. Those are going to count towards. We might not even hear about those. Like the election might be decided by the Electoral College.
Yeah,
and then 4 days from now, even though the election has been decided, another couple million votes come in either way, and it doesn't change the results of the election based on the Electoral College. It might change the results of the popular vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which that's obviously what it would go to by then.
It doesn't matter because, stupidity. We don't vote for the president directly. We should, in my opinion. But so it looks like Biden's leading Kansas. Trump won Louisiana. Anything else surprising here? Nebraska, Trump won. Nobody lives there. Don't really matter.
Yeah.
Where's I was gonna say where's the statements from? South Dakota, right? Sorry. What else? Let's check in. Somebody I'm very interested in seeing how she's doing is in Baltimore. Kimberly Klacik. She was running for something. I forgot for Congress or for Senate. And I was wishing her well. I enjoyed her approach to her campaign and
Yeah.
everything. I thought she was a breath of fresh air. So let's see what happens with her. And I was telling you before that Biden, he won Connecticut, obviously, but it wasn't by a huge 43%. Connecticut's a little bit more. We'll see what New
her
York.
district didn't post yet.
Wow, really? There's no information whatsoever.
No, this is on Google. District 7.
Google, step your game up, bro. I feel like Google's way behind everything.
Yeah.
Oh, look!
Google
all right, so
had-
here we go. Senate for Colorado. The Republican lost. Jim Hickenlooper won. He's a Democrat. Looks like.
Yeah.
What were you saying? You were telling me before that looks like the two chambers are flipping or something.
Yeah, if I saw something quick, and it looked like there was more new House Republicans, and there was more new Senate Democrats.
This is an interesting one to watch here. Kelly versus McSally. Kelly is the astronaut guy who hates Trump,
Okay.
and let's see another. Okay, here we go. Republicans losing.
Yeah.
Winning against a
In Michigan,
in Michigan against an incumbent. This
there was
is,
only 15%.
James versus Peters. Don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many.
If you
That's like
want-
local politics throughout the
Yeah.
states.
If you want experts, go to Fox and CNN.
Yeah.
Don't come to Two Doom Men.
But yeah, man, that'd be crazy if New Jersey legalizes marijuana. That'd be fun.
Isn't it insane how New York, of course, going to be
Yeah.
the last of the tri-state? Probably. Connecticut's still behind the ball on that. Which I'm gonna hold Governor Ned Lamont accountable, right? When he was running for governor a couple years ago, he ran on legalizing marijuana. It's been 2 years now? It ain't
Yeah.
done. So why not?
It was a big old lie.
Yeah, a lot of them, dude, are playing that game. How can we? They need to figure out how they're going to make money off of it first.
Project Veritas is also like tried to expose a few people running.
Oh, here we go. Look.
Yeah,
So
see?
net gain. The Democrats have gained 1 seat in the Senate so far.
Yeah,
So that's not good for the Republicans if you're keeping an eye on that. But I think the Senate, the Democrats had a majority already in the Senate. Yeah, in the Senate, not in Congress.
maybe.
Yes, the Democrats had a majority in the Senate. They've so far added to their majority one seat. Oh boy, did you spill beer everywhere?
Nope.
That was one of the empties.
You can only knock over empties when there's nothing else down there.
We were listening to Tucker Carlton. I don't know why I had a tongue tie on that. Listening to him talk earlier on Fox, and he made some pretty good points. He was talking about the way the media covers this, kind of similar to the way we've been talking about it so
Yeah.
far. And he was challenging the media, even Fox News, to cover this shit better because the way
Yeah.
they do, he made a great point of sometimes we report the statistics or the results, and our reporting affects
Yeah.
the results because we're too quick to the jump
And
or-
also, he said, how can we continuously not be held accountable if, all these smart people have all this information in front of them and they say the polls lean this way and then Trump runs away with these states? You know what I mean? Like, look, see, Trump's taking Florida, man.
I think Trump is taking Florida. How many? That's a lot of votes, right? But I feel like Florida and Pennsylvania
By
are
a
going to
4-point lead.
Yeah, but I'm saying I feel like Florida and Pennsylvania are
Gonna
going to
wash each other out,
out. If they I don't know if they
Yeah.
wash each other out, but if they do wash each other out, that's not good for Trump because he's already down.
No, because
somewhat.
then he needs
Yeah.
to get Ohio, and Ohio's going.
Trump's winning
Well-
Michigan. That doesn't surprise me because everybody there seems to really hate that governor.
Yeah.
They're planning on abducting her and shit. And it's crazy. You know what's something I wanted to talk about? Before we ended, we were talking about the bridge being blocked and everything. I wanted to talk about the Biden bus getting run off the road.
It
where
didn't
was
get
that?
run off the road.
I know. Where was it in
So
Texas? I think. Or?
So Biden had like several stops in Texas for small rallies.
It wasn't him though. He wasn't on the bus.
I don't know what
No, he wasn't on the bus.
I don't know
definitely.
what the deal was, but they ended up canceling their entire Texas tour because more Trump supporters than Biden supporters were showing up, and then it got to a point where there was just a parade of Trump trucks around the Biden bus as they escorted it out of Texas.
Yeah, you see, I saw this video, and everybody, especially on Twitter, Twitter's a
this
war
Lady
zone.
Gaga shit.
No, not that. I'm talking about the Biden bus still. Twitter is a war zone, right? And everybody on Twitter sees things through like their lens of
Their wokeness.
their or their their red or their blue lenses, and all the left liberal criticizers of this incident were pointing at this video and saying dangerous Trump supporters are looking to run the Biden bus off the road. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. So I watched a video, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I didn't. The video that they were literally pointing to, saying these crazy Trump supporters are trying to run the bus off the road. They didn't actually try to run the bus off the road. Like, I took my eyes, and I looked at the video, and that didn't happen. What did happen was there was like a white truck, and they were behind the bus. There was a white truck on the left and a Trump pickup truck on the right, and the white truck got close to the Trump pickup truck, and the Trump pickup truck like drove to the left and like pushed them off a little bit.
Right.
But they weren't. I did not see anything of them trying to run the bus off the road.
No. And they were also saying all those people driving the Trump trucks should be arrested.
For what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
if
you were trying to actually run the bus off the road, yes.
If Biden's life was in danger, yes. And Biden, I don't even.
He
think
wasn't on that
right?
bus. He wasn't on the bus.
So anyway, but you got to think also as well. Excuse me. You also got to think as well. Fucking. If they were actually like, now they're just saying like you need to get arrested because I don't like what you're doing. Like have you seen like the stuff online where they're like, oh, the face you make when you know you're going to prison? Like they make it sound like if Trump loses the election, he's going to go to jail. For what?
Yeah, I know.
For what?
For the things he didn't go to jail for already.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think Biden's gonna win.
Yeah,
I think so.
Let's see.
Because I'm having flashbacks to, like I said, 2016, and around this time of the night, I saw a similar. I saw it developing the same way. As more shit came in, Trump was ahead, and Hillary would come up a little bit, but she could never get ahead. And it just feels similar, just the opposite way, just similar. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going off of the way I felt, and I was shocked last time, like that Trump won.
Well, see, also the thing is, it's 9:00 at night, and last year we didn't know who won till 3:30 in the morning.
Till 3:30, yeah.
And this, and that was know until like tomorrow.
Yeah, that was on a regular election.
Yeah.
So I can't in any way envisioning us, by 11 or even midnight, even knowing who's the president's going to be.
But it's weird too, because like, I wonder if like by like 3 in the morning, let's say like Biden is ahead, if they're like, oh, we don't need the mail votes anymore, like fuck them, like
if now it flip flops and Trump's looking to get the mail votes,
like Trump's waiting,
he's arguing for against voter suppression, and the Democrats are trying to wrap it up, and they're saying no, the votes shouldn't be counted. I would not be surprised if that was the case. Oh man, can't anybody just do what should be done instead of what they want to be done? Yep. You know what I mean? Like,
I would wake up, look at my phone, and then go brush my teeth.
We'll see what happens. If it comes, say it's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I know you're going to be Betty Buys, but if something crazy happens, maybe I'll come back on. I got nothing to fucking do, so and see what happened. Again, they're covering 2016.
Most annoying fucking thing ever.
But this gives
Trump's
you some.
Still up by the popular vote by 1 million.
Wouldn't that be fucking something? That, if Trump loses this election, but he wins the popular vote, when in 2016 he was like, well, it doesn't matter the popular vote because the Electoral College really decides the election, and
that'd be a hard pill to swallow.
It would be a hard pill to swallow, and that will. Again, I'm not making a political point. We need to get rid of the Electoral College. It's not going to happen either.
Yeah,
I know it's not going to happen because in order to get rid of the Electoral College, I believe an amendment would have to be passed to the Constitution, which, with the way Congress and the states and everything are now, virtually impossible. Each state would have to vote on getting rid of the Electoral College, which they wouldn't because the small states would never vote on it because they'd give up some sort of say
say in it.
to like population centers, which are in the bigger states like New York and California. So that's a pipe dream. The only way that could happen.
What the left has talked about doing though is adding states, making Puerto Rico a state and somewhere else like DC, like the capital estate.
Mhm.
So they would get those extra electoral colleges, like seats that would always be Democratic seats.
Here's the thing with that. That's been proposed 1,000 times. Puerto Rico becoming
Yeah.
a state. They've voted against that numerous times.
Yeah.
And also, people don't understand. This was a point recently that had something to do with AOC. I don't remember exactly what it was about. But there is a perk to Puerto Rico not being a state. They don't pay federal income taxes. Why? Because there's no taxation without representation in the United States. Meaning, if you have no representation, you can't vote. Like, I have no representation being Puerto Rico. I can't vote for the president.
But you don't have to pay an income tax.
Right.
Fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there are Americans who have taken advantage of that. They'll move there and make that their permanent residence because, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, when you look at who the candidates are, fuck it.
Yeah, right. Listen, man, this is a shit sandwich we've been served here. I know you like Trump and everything.
I do, but it's still not. There's got
there-
to be better people.
There are. There's how many? 7 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
Almost 400 million in this country. We got some of the brightest minds, good people, scientists. And this is what we get.
Yeah.
It's just a it's indicative of our entire society and system here. I don't know.
I love
The
how-
system more.
Yeah. Look at Texas right now. Half of it's not lit up. A bunch of it's red. And there's like 4 or 5 little blue spots. How populated are these little blue spots that Biden's ahead by 2 points?
Oh, they could be very populated,
Yeah.
man. City, look at New
Yeah.
York City, how small New York City is in terms of
That's why I
land
always
size
hated
compared to
like,
the rest of the state.
like the island of Manhattan, like truly just dominates New York when all of like upstate New York views it differently.
But then again, land
I know.
doesn't vote. Human
know.
beings are what really matters, not the land.
We've always had,
yeah.
I get it. It's just it's so annoying that it ends up that way.
That's why, man, it should, in my opinion, it should just be popular vote for everything. Because people are what matters, not the land or this building or this. I have this much size space. That doesn't fucking matter. Each person's life is supposed to be valued the same. Each person's idea should be
Yeah.
valued the same. It shouldn't matter on the size of where they're standing, the land that they're standing on, or whatever. Texas is a weird place, dude. Texas
Yeah.
has we were talking about this for hunting. Texas has no public land.
Oh yeah,
Texas is 99%
you could just have a giraffe farm if you
private
want.
land. Yeah, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's a free for all.
Yeah.
You could hunt giraffe, I'm pretty sure, in Texas. I was watching. Remember, were you watching with me the other day? We were watching Meat Eater
Yeah.
in Texas, and they were hunting African savanna
Yeah,
animals.
that just roam free in
Yeah.
Texas, and they started breeding.
That was interesting, but it was also kind of weird because
How can they allow this?
how could they allow? I mean, I don't know. It's from a hunting a ethics point of view, it's weird. But at the same time, I'm talking about it's weird because some of those animals look
Yeah,
confused.
don't belong there. Ever.
They were looking at Steve Ranella and they just shot them.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you were standing 30 feet away from a deer, it saw us, it'd run away.
Yeah, they
Because it's
had
more-
no idea what was
Yeah,
coming.
these
Yeah.
animals are out of place and don't seem to.
It's
rea-
weird though how it's crazy how easy it is. If you just semi replicate their hometown, from where they're originate, they could thrive. They brought all these different type of deer to Texas
Mhm.
from all over Africa and South America, and they're doing great because it's similar
Yeah,
conditions.
hey man, life is resilient. We survive
Yeah.
across the entire planet. So can animals. And deer are fucking tough animals, dude. It doesn't surprise me. Also, Africa is very similar. Not 100%, but
I doubt that. Yeah.
I'm talking about weather-wise.
Yeah,
Hot. South Africa where I went was very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter, just
Mhm.
like it is over here. So deer over there are just like deer over here.
Yeah.
They even though they don't look the same, they're different, family trees or whatever the fuck. They still survive similarly, just a
Yeah.
similar environment.
See, here we go. Florida's been closed for over an hour. It's still too early to call. That's why, I don't know. Once these places
Well, that's
start
because it's so
actually being
close.
called, I think we're
I
going
think
to
Trump's
see real.
winning Florida. There's
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind. I can't see it's as we're almost 90% of the votes are in there. He's up by 4%. I can't see the last few
Yeah.
votes having a massive swing. A
Mhm.
little swing maybe, but not a massive swing. Oh look, Trump is winning Georgia now. In the beginning, it was a huge blowout for Biden. Now Trump is winning Georgia 56
See,
to
I think
42.
we could start seeing changes in.
Maybe I'm
places now.
wrong, dude. I feel like Biden's going to win, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the states that were going to vote for Biden, the results are in for them
Yeah.
now, and maybe the ones that are going to vote, most of the ones or the big ones that are going to vote for Trump are not in. You got to factor in. Let's not forget California. That's like
Yeah,
look that up for me. How many electoral votes does California get? That's got to be a lot. Again, not experts here. So we got 91% in Florida, and Biden's down 47 to 51%. I don't
Yeah.
see how he's
I don't-
turning that around with only
Not
9%
yeah.
to go.
55 electoral votes.
55. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
That's a shit
Biden's
ton.
going to get those 55.
Yeah.
Biden, 130, right? Basically plus 55. He's close. He's going to be close after that.
Yeah.
He's going to be close to he'll be like 100 away
Yeah.
after California.
probably
Just
also get
factor
New
in.
York
Give him
still.
California, right? Give him New York. He's going to be like
Yeah.
70 away. He
Yeah.
basically needs like 70 from everything else.
But then it's
to
going
win.
to start being like, a lot of the Bible Belt countries too that are also definitely going red. That he's going to, you
It
start
really-
chipping away
It
at.
really does come down when you think of it to like the battleground
Mhm.
states. You know, there's certain like California is always going to go to the Democrat, and
Imagine
Alabama's always
if
gonna
we
go
see a
Republican.
flip. Imagine if we see a big flip. That'd be crazy.
What do you mean?
Like
what's-
California goes red.
It won't happen, dude. It won't happen. Impossible.
I know, and it is.
It's
but
so
it'd be crazy
it's
to
so
see.
liberal left wing. The whole West Coast is
Wait,
the-
Democrats retain House control?
yeah, retain means they're keeping it.
I understand that, but I don't see any.
The Senate
information-
they had the Senate. Remember we were talking about before? They had the majority in the Senate. Then I was
Right.
saying before they added one seat, so they're I guess they're
Oh.
making an assumption that they're going to retain control. What's going on here? Anything?
Got a few people joined.
Thanks for tuning in, peeps, as we try and make sense of this mess. This is interesting because it feels like a regular election night.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more
Right.
fireworks and like the Purge music.
I'm just saying, like, in terms of the way that they're reporting results, I was expecting, like, them to I was expecting the reporters to
Yeah.
be just, spinning around in a circle and they didn't know what to do. But it feels normal, and they're reporting almost full reporting ins for most of these states. Maybe we will get a decision by tonight at some point or tomorrow morning early. We'll see.
So
Oh, look, we got some New York. So, all right, New York.
yeah,
It's a
11%,
landslide for
yeah.
Joe Biden. What a surprise. Only 11% in. He's
see, I think Ohio is where we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, what was the percentage in there, though? We'll see.
Like 60-something%. So wait, I don't get it. If so, they're keeping the House and they might win the Senate too, for all we know.
I don't know, man. Get on the Google over there. My phone's occupado. Interesting. Found any tidbits over there?
I'm just starting to Google.
South Dakota, isn't that where the statesman's from? They went to Trump.
Yes, he is.
all
yeah,
those,
went to
all
Trump.
those all those people on the buffet,
Yeah,
they voted for Trump, I guess. How many people in South Dakota? Like 9?
yeah. It's one of the least populated.
So I
states.
guess, 6 voted for Trump, 3 voted for Biden. Texas is close, dude. Look,
Yeah,
Texas is almost a tie, 49-48 in favor of Biden. All right, I don't want to just read fucking stats here. What do you want to
I
talk
know.
about?
I'm trying to find the information on the Senate and the House, but they're only giving me the presidential stuff.
Man, if I wanted people to fail with Googling shit, we should have invited Danny.
Yeah. Look at that, 93% for Trump. Yeah, this is going to get kind of repetitive. So what's been bothering you lately that you've seen out there?
What's not, man? It's just like a lack of sensibility with everybody, with society.
Oh, isn't it funny that there was all this Hunter Biden shit and then like November 1st hit and you haven't heard shit about Hunter Biden?
Yeah, we haven't heard shit. What happened? I was telling you the other day. There was supposed to be this big QAnon drop on this past Friday, and nothing came of it.
happened. It's every time they give out a date, just nothing.
What
comes
was
of
they?
it.
What were they even teasing it to be about? You know, you have
Natalie
any?
Biden or whatever?
Oh,
the niece. It was supposed to be a
niece?
sex tape. Yeah. Yep.
You know what was crazy that we
Was
we
the
didn't
all the
cover?
Pornhub shit that they
Hunter
had on
Biden had his own Pornhub channel where he was
Yeah.
putting his porn out, his own
Which
porn out or
is
some shit.
insane.
Isn't that crazy?
They got rid of it, but it was real.
I mean, crack is really whack, man. It makes you go
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
And then my favorite was supposedly in one of those photos of Hunter Biden was Lady Gaga naked smoking crack in the background.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what was interesting about that was you telling me that it seems like her friend was in the video and it was almost identical.
Yep.
That would lead me to believe that was her, but it's not like very conclusive
No,
that it was
you're
actually
never
her in the
gonna-
background. That was something I wanted to talk about. The video that Lady Gaga made the other day, which was just bizarre.
I
Did you
didn't
see-
see the
you
whole
see it?
thing. I saw she was trying to be real rednecky.
She dressed up in like not good camo, right? From two
Yeah.
guys who wear camo a lot, and she had on these weird boots and was trying to act like a Southerner or something, and trying to convince people to vote for Trump. And she like crushed a beer but didn't really drink
Yeah.
it. Who the fuck is that going to convince to change their mind a day before the election? Oh yeah, I'm some some huge redneck
Yeah.
in Tennessee, and I see, oh man, Lady Gaga says I should vote for Joe Biden. I'm gonna go vote for him now. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
It just makes no sense whatsoever.
These celebrities live in an alternate universe,
really
dude, where
do-
they think that they actually sway people.
You got to think though, like if she has like, like how we have stories of like crazy nights out. She has
Lady Gaga got some stories.
She has stories of like, so I was doing crack with the vice president's son. You know what I mean? So like, you know what? Like in her head, she could probably think she can make a video like this, and it would change like people's minds.
Yep. That reminds me of fucking what Joe Rogan said about Hunter Biden's laptop. He was talking about how people were trying to deny that this is a real story because why is a laptop in Delaware, in Delaware when Hunter Biden was in California? Like, why would he go to Delaware and drop off his laptop? He was on crack. When you're on crack, you don't do things that make sense.
Yeah.
You
How
fucking
do you think he forgot them there?
right.
He was on
you fly
crack.
across country to Delaware, right, where they live there or something.
Yeah, they have
and you're
houses there.
shit. My computer's broken. Let me leave it at this repair stop. All right, I'm
Yeah.
going back to California. Goodbye. You totally forget that computer even exists. Yeah, when you're
I
on
forget one thing a
I mean,
morning.
I've never
and
done
I'm
crack
not on
before.
crack. Yeah.
I've never done crack before, but I'm gonna assume that your brain is not in the best condition when you're doing it, so you probably forget shit all the time. This is interesting. If you're watching Fox News, this is like the sausage factory here that they got, where they're showing this this like laboratory where they're counting ballots. It's pretty crazy. There's like these huge machines and they're scanning it. I'm enjoying this because you're seeing kind of like
the inside
look of what the fuck's going on.
I
how
still want to see
this even gets done.
like where like all the electoral college people are.
Oh yeah, those mutants. Yeah,
I could only imagine what type of like insane room this must.
You know
be.
where they are, bro? Probably at that place that Alex Jones was talking about.
Oh, I don't know. I never
With
seen
the owl,
what you guys
with
were
the
talking.
aloe god or whatever.
Yeah,
Northwoods
some
or
temple.
some shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. That is weird.
Yeah.
What an ancient system, and the
and we never know who. Like we know Hillary Clinton's and
yeah, she said so.
yeah, but we
Yeah.
never know who the electoral college is. I've always found that like very suspicious.
It is very weird. The Electoral College was designed back in the day because, and if you go back and read, like historically, they said because the common man wasn't smart enough to elect the president directly, but they still keep people for. I mean, all right, I don't know here, but for the most part, I say people are way more educated now than they were back then.
We would hope, but
You would hope, right? I'd say that society has earned the right at this point to directly elect their main leader.
Trump could end up taking Texas. He's only like 0.2 behind.
In Texas,
Mhm.
yeah, that's going to be an interesting state in the years to come because
I don't get it though. Like, Texas is slowly turning blue, but like, so it means like a lot of people are moving from like these shitty Democratic states to a really good Republican state, and they're just voting for the same thing.
Yeah.
Why'd you leave?
Yep, that's what people in Texas are terrified of right now. The like the conservative Texans, the people who are like all about freedom.
Yeah.
You want to have a giraffe, go ahead and have a giraffe. That's the way they live, man. Who am I up here in New York, Connecticut to tell them what to do in Texas? Then again, like, if you move there because you want to get away, if I wanted to get away from Connecticut, and I moved to Texas, and now I get there and I'm like, oh, I'm someone who believes in, socialized medicine, and I start voting for it. No, that's not what they wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to just sometimes respect
your surroundings,
your surroundings and the culture. Yeah. And a lot of Texans have been calling, like, please don't, like, we're welcoming people with open arms that are trying to get away from California, especially. But don't come here and now,
vote the same way,
change all the rules. But at the same time,
you know what? Eventually, everyone's going to leave Texas and go to California.
Yeah, right.
Turn red. Yeah.
At the same time, like I said before, land doesn't vote.
Yeah.
Human beings vote, right? So
which is so ridiculous.
If a bunch of human beings move from one place to another, who's to say the people who are already there have more say than the new people that are a majority?
I get it, but like, why just keep voting for what you're running from is beyond.
Oh no, I agree.
So bizarre.
I agree. I'm just thinking, theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
So too early to call.
That's all of them.
A lot.
So I don't understand this. Dems.
I think the Senate. The Senate.
But why are they saying the House?
I got to be honest with you. I have never understood that. The House, the Senate, the Congress.
The Senate and the House are two different things.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, there's the House of Representatives. Like I said, people,
I think I'm
not
talking
experts
about.
Here. I don't know, man. Look it up. You got your phone right there.
Dude,
Google what is the House of Representatives. You know what you need? You need that little that scroll, that newspaper that would like read the political shit to you when you're a kid. We definitely did not watch that show enough. I forgot what it was even fucking called.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock, yeah. We did not watch enough Schoolhouse Rock when we were kids. I think Trump is definitely going to win Michigan. Was he expecting to win Michigan? They highlighted that before as a battleground state, and it looks like he's going to fucking blow him out over there. Hello.
Who do we got there?
Yeah. So Bounty Hunter 0713 asked, did New York stay blue? Oh, yeah. It looks like New York is staying blue. There was like, last time I checked, there was about 10% of the vote is in New York, and it was like 79% went to Biden.
It was a huge lead.
What did you expect,
Yeah.
New York is always going to be a blue state. Maybe local.
It's gonna eventually start to level out as it comes in, but it's still gonna be.
I don't think it will, dude. People are fleeing New York. Who do you think are fleeing? People that would vote for Republicans. It's gonna only get more polarized. Trump has a 0.1% lead in Texas now. It's
he's finally coming ahead.
Yeah.
He's up by like 20,000 votes.
You see, what's weird about this is I'm saying it feels like a normal election night. They're portraying all these races as if we are going to know by the end of the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and then it's all going to come to a screeching halt eventually.
Right. Is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If all these races were a loading bar, the media is showing like, we're loading and, 50%, 70%, 80%, 100% completed. Next, 50, 40, you know what I mean? And they're portraying it as if we're going to know each one. It's just very odd for the noise they made the past few weeks about.
So the Senate,
Captain History.
The Senate has 40. The Senate's won 40 seats of Democrats, and Republicans have won 38. Then we go to the House. The Democratic Party's won 40 seats, and the Republican Party's won 67 seats. But this is saying the House, Democrats are controlling the House. To me, this looks like they're
back up. Do me a history lesson here, or a political lesson. And what is the difference between the House and the Senate, or are they the same thing? The House of when I hear the term House, I think House of Representatives. What the fuck that means exactly, I have no idea because they don't even represent the people.
So just between the House
for real.
and the Senate?
Yeah, what's the difference between the House and the Senate? Or what is the House? I know what the Senate is. Like Bernie Sanders is a senator.
So it is the House of Representatives.
Okay, and what is the difference between the House of Representatives?
The House and the Senate are equal partners in the legislative process. Legislation cannot be intact without the consent of both chambers. However, the Constitution grants each chamber some unique powers. The Senate ratifies treaties and approves presidential appointments, while the House initiates revenue-raising bills.
For some reason, Virginia is still marked for Biden, and he is nowhere near the same
Look at-
percentage.
Washington D.C. Trump got
Yeah.
5%.
That's a weird example though, because
Yeah.
it's a city.
Yeah.
It's being portrayed as a state, and it's a very small sample size.
So now what are we looking at here?
Virginia, Biden has 40-something% still, and Trump has like in the high 50s, and they've still marked Biden as the winner. And like I think like 60% of the vote is in there.
Yeah. So
What is going on?
the fix is in. See.
I don't know if it's the fix or how do they know Biden won if he's losing?
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I could think of is through past like election data and like projections that like if he has this much, they're saying like they already know
Following
that like
patterns.
another
Maybe that was actually pretty intelligent, I have to say.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of like when we see like these states where like it says like Trump 65 but Biden 45 and it's going to Biden, where I think like those states are so normally Democratic that like if you have 45% and you're the Democratic nominee, like the rest of the districts coming in are going to vote blue.
I got you. They're projecting.
Yeah.
They're projecting the trend, the way it's going to go. There we go, COVID.
Yep, we have to.
So they're trying to play COVID in here. I can only imagine what's going on at ABC right now. Just
Switch over. I'm fine with that, man.
Georgia swung heavily into Trump's favor after at the beginning it was.
There we go. I think we might see that happen both ways in several states.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go over to ABC. Let's do some.
I gotta say, for the first time ever, I'm upset that I can't see CNN.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I was telling the captain before that I really watch most of my shit on Xbox here. I'm a cord cutter, as they call them.
I just learned what that was recently.
Yeah, like I'm not paying the cable companies for any service, so I just use apps, and then I figure out a way to finagle getting the service for free. And I use Xbox because I play a lot of video games, and CNN has no app for the news on Xbox for some reason. All the other major networks do.
CNN has the least amount of results out of everything I've seen.
Boy, that's interesting.
Yep, CNN has, for just electoral college votes, Biden 89 and Trump 54. It has Trump with the lowest out of anything I've seen, but these are the lowest numbers I've seen altogether so far.
Doesn't surprise me, buddy. CNN is of all the
they're
media,
rough, man.
they're the most left wing anti-Trump one, I'd say, of all of them. And they're them and Fox are completely polar opposites. And then I'd say the other ones are obviously on the left too, but at varying degrees.
Yeah, different degrees
of it. Where was I going? I don't even remember.
CBS or
CBS. See what's going on CBS. This is definitely old. This girl was on before when we were watching. Reproductive rights on the line this election. Are they going to start banning babies from being born? I mean, maybe we need to stop making everything the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Every election.
Yep.
Is the end of the world.
Fear sells.
It does.
That's what they want. I love how the whole state's red, but like Biden's running away with it. You know what I mean? Like,
because, like I said,
there's just nobody living there.
Nobody lives in those areas. They're rural farmlands.
Yeah.
Human beings. The past couple of years, I think now more humans live in the cities than they do in the rural, and it used to be the opposite.
Boy, I would love to. I know where I want to go.
Where do you want to go?
Rural. Let's just a Legion compound. Fucking.
That'd be nice.
1,000 acres in Kentucky.
I think we could see that shift back. Back to rural, especially after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good idea to cram as many people as you can into one area.
But it's also interesting because things are so much change. Like so many things are changing. Like, you got to think. Like we were just talking about this when we were inside. Like everybody's fleeing to like places like North Carolina, and like it's like these big cities are so big they're making other cities big cities. But like what's crazy about it is like right now you could still move to North Carolina and still live in the middle of nowhere and live like a king. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there's just more cities growing around you as well. Like there's still a long, long way to go before they're like a metropolis.
Yeah. But change happens quickly when you think about that too,
yeah, I guess
right?
so.
I was talking to my father-in-law earlier this week about this area up here. And he was telling me how back in the 70s it was just open farmlands,
I can imagine.
nothing was developed here, and you used to be able to like drive up to like Brewster, to Putnam, Patterson, and all this, and it was just open fields, and you'd park, you go to like the DEC would have like a little office, pay them whatever, go ahead, you go hunt wherever you
Wow.
want, like this huge open land, and that was in the 70s. What was that? 50 years ago
Yeah.
now. 50 years, dude. Now this is
Yeah.
like a
Now it's a
very
whole town.
developed
Yeah.
towns, houses, strip mall after
And there's a
strip
lot
mall.
too. There's a
Yeah.
lot,
Things could change quickly
Yeah, I
in,
guess
in
so.
50 years.
but it's still over 50 years. Like, so if we were to move to like North Carolina, like by the time 50 years had passed,
Right.
we're
It
like,
might not be, we might not like it anymore.
yeah, but we'd be old by then. So
Yeah.
older at
We'd
least.
be old, miserable fucking
Yeah.
mutts.
Old doomed men.
That's what we'll be talking about on the podcast then, about how much we hate where we're at.
Yeah.
So where do you think our this will be interesting if Biden wins? Where does our podcast go from there? Right, without the insanity of the Trump derangement syndrome and the stupid shit that Trump says and all
I
this. Like,
think-
where are we going to go? What will we talk about? Because that's given us. We picked a great time to start doing
Mm-hmm.
a podcast, as I've said before. We didn't know this shit was going to happen, but the world ended. This fucking insane election occurred. Riots.
I
Social
think,
unrest. Gave us a lot of shit to talk about.
I truly think though it might be a little bit more boring because the media is just gonna 100% give Biden
the past.
the Jesus walk on water treatment, and
So you know what? We're gonna have to fucking keep them honest.
we're gonna be the ones calling out the bullshit of how, oh, you didn't promise this, you didn't fulfill this promise. You said you were gonna stop doing this, but you keep doing it. Like, we're the ones that's gonna have to call them out.
Yeah, we should. Let's
Continue the battle of wokeness.
if Biden's gonna win here, what's his policies gonna be? Because I don't know.
Exactly.
Because he didn't really talk much about him. It was more of just anti-Trumpness.
Oh, wait a second. We just got a text message saying New Jersey is legalizing marijuana.
You got a text message from who? From
Mr.
marijuana?
Spanish. Yes, from
Oh,
marijuana.
I thought marijuana texted you. I get text messages from marijuana place in Massachusetts all the time. So that's it. That's good. Congratulations, New Jersey.
Hold on. Wait. 50% reporting in. 67% yes.
There's Mitch McConnell. He's looking nice and healthy now.
It doesn't even look like he's really talking.
He's an odd-looking person.
A lot of politicians are odd-looking people, man. Like,
They're lizard people, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
what the whole
they're
QAnon
lizard people, yeah.
thing is about at the end of the day? They live. Where do they live? Are they lizards from space or lizards from underground?
I think they might be from space that live underground.
Okay. All right, that makes
I
sense.
could be completely wrong, but who cares?
And they feed off the adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome, yeah.
Right?
Children. I think it looks
Oh,
like,
man.
it looks like they'll be legalizing it. So
I wonder what the parameters of that are. Is it just going to be a free-for-all now? Like, can any industry or any business pick up selling weed, or is it like going to be a specific
right.
hand? Because some places have literally hand-picked only certain companies can sell the shit, and if that's
I'm sure
if that's
Jersey
not
already
more
has that picked up,
anti-capitalist, ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
how could you choose companies? Like, imagine if we just legalized cars. Oh, well, you know what? Only, Chevy and
Yeah, it
and,
can only be sold
and
in this state.
Buick and Toyota can make the cars. What the fuck? This is supposed to be a capitalist
Yeah.
society. You need to allow competition. Anybody should be able to gain entrance to the marketplace. That's what I'm saying. That's why New York hasn't legalized marijuana yet, because they're trying to, negotiate.
Get their guys and
They're talking to the industry, the marijuana industry, and Cuomo's over there on the negotiating table.
Yeah.
Who's gonna give me the best deal?
yeah.
When
Who's gonna get me the most fucked up? Yo, can
Who's
we
gonna
talk
get me the
about
most fucked
how
up?
that story broke about the state trooper who
Yeah,
fucking
go for it, man. Go for it.
Yo, okay, so apparently this is a true story. A New York state trooper started dating Cuomo's daughter, and the dude ended up getting transferred all the way up to like the New York Canadian border. And I don't know about you, man, but like if it was me, I would stay in contact with her. I'd keep her all my free time would be spent banging her.
Just
You're
to
gonna
stick it
fucking
to the
do this?
governor?
Yes.
Didn't you say? Didn't somebody say that he still fucks her or something?
No, I said I hope he does.
Okay.
I hope on his days off they meet each other in the middle just to bang in a hotel room. Fuck Como.
That's not grounds for a lawsuit in any way.
It has to. You know
You
what?
reassigned me because I was romantically involved with your daughter, and
There's some
you're
nepotism.
and
like,
you know what I mean. You're the governor, so you could use your office for
you don't become
personal
governor
motive.
you don't become governor for no reason.
Are you fucking King Joffrey? You could just do whatever you want. Like, because I'm the governor and you fuck my daughter, I could send you to the moon.
Yeah.
That's not how that's supposed to work. But it doesn't surprise me. Being that it's Cuomo, King Cuomo, as people like to call him. All right. Do we have anything interesting going on here? Things have
the polls
slowed.
should be
the other ones,
not
right?
closing until 10.
Yeah, the whole West Coast shit is going to be hours until they're done. Biden is winning Colorado.
Colorado was becoming just
Colorado's an interesting place, man.
Yeah, goes back. It might be a swing state. I don't know. I don't know if it's a battleground state.
Isn't their governor is Republican, isn't he?
I think in 2016 it was a red state. So
I think their governor is still Republican, and he was originally
race called Biden 43% for Virginia, Trump 51%. Only 47% of the vote is in.
Yeah,
how does this make sense?
Is J Play still watching? If you're still watching J Play, do some research for us, please, and sort out Virginia for us, because that makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Oh, Jerry is here. He's saying Ohio's making a comeback, so that is very good news for Trump. Oh boy, hey Patty. I see. 43.2% Biden. Trump has 1.2 million votes.
Explaining what the fuck is going on here.
Expected count for votes in Virginia, and our call will hold. We feel very confident because it's 47% precincts in. See, it's just confusing for people who look at it on the screen and they say a yellow mark, but wait, it's 55-43. How can they do that? Explain
Amazing.
How exactly you can do that. Because thanks to the Fox News voter analysis, we have all of these completed interviews with all of these Americans. People who voted early, people who voted in person early, people who mailed in.
So you were actually right before what you were saying. You were saying they have some sort of project. Yeah.
They have some type of research. So I guess they're kind of just taking people's words for it. Yeah, we're listening to that now, Jerry. Where they were just interviewing people, but they're taking like the individual's word that like, oh, I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden, but like you could still change your vote like the day of. You know what I mean? Like,
good.
And
isn't it, hold on. Yes, you're right. Isn't that just weird? It's weird even more because it's Fox News reporting something
positive
for Biden. Like, but that's just a weird thing in general. Why are we allowing a private company, right, Fox or CNN or whoever,
to have this type of information
to declare the winner of a race based on their own private company's projections?
Yeah. So then that means Fox has a hand in deciding who
the
wins
election,
the election.
Right? Or CNN. I'm not. You know what I mean? This is very weird because, like I said, it's Fox. Calling a race super early for Joe Biden. But why is that a thing? That makes no sense.
So we got. Hold on.
I just like to know what's happening as it's happening. I don't want any, I don't want any projections based on your own models.
All right. So we have a question here. Any news on my boyfriend John Cummings? Great name. He must defeat AOC.
That's not going to happen. AOC is way too popular in her district.
No, not a chance.
She's going to absolutely mop the floor with that guy.
57% reporting in. AOC is, running away with it. 70% to 28%. Yeah, not a chance she's losing.
A lot of people have said that to me. Oh, AOC is going to lose. Why? Because she's not popular with you? You have to think of AOC as a local politician. Yes, she has a big, fan base and a following and everything. But she's a local politician, and in her district, she's very popular. She represents the district. She looks like the people who live there. She's going to win that district for a while.
There you go. I'll let you read the announcements.
New Jersey, question 1: legalized marijuana election results. 67.3% voted in favor of legalizing marijuana in New Jersey, and 32% did not. So, yep.
All right, Jersey.
Light up, boys. Light them up.
Yep.
Light them. Smoke them if you got
All right,
'em.
so we're both in 100
It's
now.
close. It's
Yeah.
closer now. Closer now
Yeah.
than it was before. Right now, the race is electoral
But
votes
see, you know what,
129
though?
to
Like,
100.
Like, this is really interesting now because, like, oh, look, Ohio. Trump's got Ohio now.
It's close.
Yeah.
Within,
2 points.
yeah.
So this is still interesting because, like you're saying before, like, how this is like a regular fucking election right now. Like, I'm kind of starting to believe, like, by tomorrow morning we'll know who's president. You
Maybe.
know what I mean?
Like I was saying before, this reminds me of just like I'm watching a loading bar and it's
It's gonna get to 99% and just crash.
maybe. But like the other states have completed. They've completed the other states, some of them. So, why wouldn't these other states not be completed? I don't know.
I stole a bunch of candy from
That's fine.
the kids down the street.
Mr. Z there says that Ohio came back by a lot. It definitely did. That's we said that before that you can't. Why they call these races with less than 1% of the vote coming in. How do you know the distribution of votes?
Okay.
I guess you can make a prediction, but I don't want to hear your prediction.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the fuck is going on.
So
I want to
now-
know the reality of the situation in the moment.
So now, how can we soar with less than 1%? Like they were calling states. How can your private company interview enough people and collect enough data to see that at less than 1%, if Biden gets any votes, he's got the state.
Yeah.
And I know it goes the other way. I've seen where Trump's projected
right.
to win.
We're talking more theoretically here than
Yeah.
we're not taking sides. And then even when they were showing when we were inside before, they were showing some other poll results, and it was such a broad ranging question with no details. They didn't tell you how many people responded, where they asked them. Let's see what's going on.
All right. What are you watching, gentlemen? Oh, we're watching Fox.
We're
We don't
watching
have a
Fox.
CNN
We don't
app.
have access to CNN, so we're watching Fox, and we've been bouncing over to CBS also.
Yeah. CBS is doing a terrible job of covering the
yeah.
election.
Fox is doing a little bit better job with the graphics and the statistics
numbers
on screen.
Then let's see. Trump is leading in Biden's hometown. Pennsylvania is a very close call, especially since Biden was just in Scranton, the Electric City.
Yeah, earlier me and Chris were saying that in the past past week, man, Trump really outworked the shit out of Biden, just in terms of campaign events and whatnot. I gotta hand it to Trump. He
fucking powered through.
When he did the same thing in 2016, he is out. He goes to he flies to multiple places, hours at a time with the rallies. For an old guy, he's got a lot of energy to do that shit. And then, like I said, this morning, I heard him.
Yeah,
I heard him on the phone this morning. Boy, it sounded like long night last night. You know what I mean? But hey,
guy's gonna take a nice. Instead of sleeping for 4 hours, he's gonna sleep for 5.5.
So now they're saying probability of Biden winning Georgia is 78%.
Which I don't get because
yeah.
Trump's running away with it now. What do we got? Storm City?
The Electric City, you said before. Oh, man. Florida's still too early to call.
Yeah, they got like 98% and it's still too early to call.
We're going to have to actually end this soon because the Instagram Lives only last 1 hour before they shut you down.
That is correct.
What do you think? You want to, what kind of break do you want to take?
I think we'll take a shorter break.
Shorter break because next time we come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cut it off at exactly 10, I say. And then we'll see what happens.
How many people
as
we
of
got
right
going
now,
on?
at least according to Fox News, Trump is still winning the popular vote in total.
Yeah,
31 million to 30 million or so. I heard some shit earlier.
See, look, Cortez.
Yeah,
Osorio.
all right, here we go. So
Yeah.
AOC is definitely won,
Yeah.
70% to 30. She's gonna win. She was never not gonna win. In case anybody thought that she was gonna lose, that you were
Trump's
not looking
Trump's
into the situation.
taking up big time in Ohio,
Interesting.
and
I still want to find out about Kimberly Klacik. What's going on there? Well, Democrats seem to be winning across the board in New York.
yeah, I'm not shocked.
Why don't you do a little Google on Kimberly Klacik
All right,
again?
that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Keeping a tab on that. That's probably the most interested local race I'm in.
What the fuck?
Captain Google.
It loads and then it just stops.
So the Democrats have added more to their majority in the Senate, but okay, dude, the House Senate thing is confusing the shit out of me still. Now it's the House is not the Senate. The Senate is something totally different from
Right.
the House because they show the House. The Republicans have the majority in the House, but the Democrats have added a few to the majority in the Senate.
Bro, look, it just loads and then it
It's weird.
freezes.
We've
Yeah.
been trying to find out what's going on in Baltimore with Kimberly Klacik, and we cannot get any
Oh,
results
actually, you
from
know
that.
what? I think I know what I could try. and
Anybody
do.
watching maybe wants to help us out there, see what's going on. The Captain Technology here is not having a good time.
Just stops fucking loading.
Maybe she's winning, and they're trying to
Yeah.
they're trying to censor her. Trump's catching up, man. He's only down by 20 now, 20 electoral votes. He was down by like 40 before.
Yep. And Google has.
Oh, Jesus, Jerry Nadler fucking blew it out.
Yeah.
Right, Jerry Nadler?
Yep. Yeah. Google is done for me.
You should. It might help you calm down sometimes.
Yes, Texas is closer than expected. A lot of people from California moving there, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were saying that before. Texas is interesting how it's all of a sudden become a battleground state, not necessarily Republican anymore. Connecticut, it was not as
Divided.
it's still
It's only 18% in, which is crazy.
18%, but Connecticut is way more balanced than New York
Yeah.
is. I'd say New York was like 79% Biden. Connecticut's like 54, 43 or something like that. Interesting. I feel like a lot of
Omar won.
yeah, she was going to win. She had the whole ballot harvesting scheme on her side. Proven true, but ignored completely. Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying, Jerry. They used the entire ballot harvesting
Yep.
scheme there, so she was going to win. I didn't think anything of that. Fudge. In Ohio, there's a guy named Fudge. He blew it
And
out.
he
82.
destroyed him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He dropped his fudge bomb on the other guy. Look, man, Kentucky's almost finished. Ohio, 61% in Ohio. So I don't know, man. Maybe we will get, like I said, maybe we will get
It's
an
strange.
answer tonight. It is very strange. What I was trying to make this point before. They were saying how like 65 million mailed-in ballot votes are already in. Why that should have been like preloaded into the stats? No,
I think they had to wait until the polling stations were closed to even count those. What a ridiculous rule that is, but yeah. I think like the second it struck midnight, they should have started counting the mailed-in ballots.
Yep, I agree.
Trump's got South Carolina.
I was just thinking of another point that Tucker Carlson made before, and it wasn't even a political point. He was talking about how a lot of businesses and stuff have had to board up.
Graham won.
Lindsey Graham? Ah, fuck.
Spet.
Tucker Carlson was saying how like a lot of businesses had to board up. He's like, that's just like sad. He's like, that's something you would expect in a third world nation that's
Yeah.
like unstable. The fact that we're doing that here in America, like, we got to be more civil.
What, you're talking about boarding up the stores?
Yeah, like people are
yeah.
literally
It looks like Hurricane
expecting-
Katrina's coming through.
Expecting violence,
But you
Maybe
know
there
what?
won't
That's-
be. But
I hope not. I know the National Guard's been deployed, but yeah, I really hope there's no riots or just because, I mean, you said it the other day, like when we were on the Unfit Statesman, you were like, people don't even wait for the results anymore. They just go riot. And if that's the case, I need new jeans. I need new shoes. Let's fucking just go riot.
my point was that, especially with these police shooting cases, that people don't wait for the facts of a situation or a clear video to
Yeah.
see exactly what happened before they go out and riot or destroy things. So if that's the case, then I believe the National Guard should also not wait for clear evidence. They should just immediately
Yeah.
respond and stop a riot. Because
Yes, Patty, George Soros did fund the riots. That's what I feel. But yeah, no, I agree
Also-
that. But you know what? I was talking to somebody who I found out recently is a cop, and he's like, though, why do we need the National Guard when we just have a police force? We could have the police force do what needs to be done.
Yeah, but there might not be enough of them to
it's
manage
all-
the situation
It's
based on
very
city by
polarizing and fucking divisive to like they're protesting the police being brutal.
Right.
So if you send the police in there to be brutal, it just makes things worse.
Mhm.
Whereas like the National Guard kind of like scares people a little bit.
Yeah, the National Guard is also specifically trained in like riot control and prevention. So, all right, I think we should take a
Chop it
break
off,
now
yeah.
before our Instagram cuts us off mid conversation. So, what do you think? Let's make a decision. When do you want to come back?
25, 30 minutes, if that.
30 minutes?
Yeah,
All right, so we'll be back at what time is it now?
9:30, 10:30.
It's 10. Yeah, we'll be back at 10:30. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for commenting. It was great talking to everyone.
3, 2, 1. We should be back now.
Yep. It's
Somewhat.
loading on live and some minor bad news.
Yeah, so some bad news. I think I lost so far. I'm going to try and get it back. But the first hour's audio got fucked up. Basically, I saved it and then went to save the second part of the second hour, and it might have saved over the first one. So we'll see if we can figure that out. But, I mean, if you were watching live, you were already there and you already heard it. So
Yeah. So
see
you're the
what
real
happens.
VIP.
Yeah, right. If anything, that was the exclusive
Yeah.
hour of Two Dim Men content.
So
Let's catch up.
North Carolina and Florida need to be called soon. They're at 91%.
Yeah, they're also
But-
like neck and
Yeah.
North Carolina is just
Yeah.
like
Very
tied.
slim margin. But this was something we wanted to bring up that was pretty funny. So if you look at the popular vote right now, according to Google, Joe Biden, 48.1. Donald Trump, 50.3%.
of
Joe-
what, of it.
Of the popular
Okay.
vote, yep. Now, the Representative Joe Jorgensen for the Libertarian
yeah.
Party has 1.1%.
Of the popular vote.
Yep. Howie Hawkins has 0.2 for the Green Party, and other candidates have 0.2. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's interesting because earlier tonight, me and Captain were saying we were talking about the third parties and how, with you having be dealt a shit sandwich here, we felt like maybe the third parties would make some more progress. Obviously, they have no chance, but we felt like maybe this time there'll be a little bit more. And boy, we were wrong.
Yeah, and
We
I'm
were
pretty
wrong.
sure in 2016 the Green Party broke like its own personal record for like votes or something like that in that particular election, like where people didn't want to vote for Hillary or
Mhm.
Trump. But now I think just it's so crazy that like
Yeah,
they're just voting for
people
one of these two.
right. People have made a decision because it was funny. We were looking at that meme before, and it was of Homer Simpson just snuggling in bed,
Yeah.
nice and comfortable, and it was like me. How I sleep, knowing my third party ballot vote, cost your candidate the election. I mean, like that's not even going to happen because
Yeah,
everyone in this election, I guess, made the decision that they're going to pick a side,
yeah.
regardless if there wasn't many like opt out votes that
Yeah.
people had. I mean, there were, but nowhere near like when Hillary and Trump were
No,
running.
yeah. I got to say something insanely suspicious. It's just that, like, they haven't given a single number on New York, and it's just New York's blue. Like, no questions asked. I get it. I know New York is gonna go blue. Give me a little
Yeah.
taste here, please.
I agree.
He's going into all these counties where like Trump's winning the state, but then he goes into a little county, and then it's fucking Biden leading by 70%. I want to see
What's going on?
the Bronx is doing right now.
I agree. And a lot of times we had some friends that we were arguing with today, and they were saying, oh, my vote don't fucking count anyway
Yeah,
in New York because they're not wrong, right?
No.
They don't even really give any coverage to New
Yeah.
York's the way it voted. They haven't at all, basically. And I think it said before, I don't know if you could look it up, but it said before a majority of the vote was in New York, right? Don't the polls close
Yeah,
at 9? So it's
I
been
think
an
it was
hour
at
and
like
a half.
70%.
Yeah, it's
for
been an
New
hour
York.
and a half, and they have given New York no coverage
Yeah.
whatsoever. A major, populated state. Yes, of course, it's going to go all Democrat, but shit, like you're saying, give me a taste
I
of
would like to
like to
know.
what happened.
Yeah, Trump's still winning the popular vote, which is pretty cool. Trump won Nebraska. All right.
All right, like I said, there's 9 people living there, and 6 of them voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So we're still at this point in time, it's 10:35, and according to Fox News, Biden is leading the electoral votes 129 to 109.
Which is funny because
Still a long way to go.
yeah, which on Google we have Biden at 131 and Trump at 108. Which is amazing is that Google has yet to give Trump more or less than what is willing to go above like what Fox has.
Yeah.
And then let's
It's
check
very
CNN.
weird.
CNN's been the slowest one of them all.
Maybe maybe just however they're collecting this data or information, maybe Fox is better at it or has, like maybe
Maybe,
they're
yeah.
collecting and reporting the data faster. I don't know.
Yeah, see, look, CNN, Biden has 94, Trump has 72. Yeah, not even close.
And
So
look,
I
if
guess,
you, and I mean,
Utah, Trump won Utah as well.
we've spent a considerable amount of time here so far on this podcast, comparing those things. But if you're not looking across multiple media, channels or whatever, you might just be being fed whatever CNN is giving
Which
you or
is
whatever
the-
Fox is giving you, which might not be the actual reality of the scenario right this very moment.
Exactly. A lot on our break, I started surfing Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, and a lot of people are saying that a lot of these news stations possibly might be walking back giving Biden Virginia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing that we keep mentioning that
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
That would
and
be
then
interesting.
and then on top of it as well, I'm pretty sure, insanely, Philadelphia or Pennsylvania has just called it a night on counting votes.
Fucking Philadelphia. These fucking these Eagles fans,
Go
man.
Birds, go.
They're
Yeah,
the,
you fucking
They're the
moron.
worst people
Yeah.
ever. They're I could see. All right, here we go. Look, 129 to 115
Yeah,
now.
Trump's because Trump just gained Utah as well.
Right. But anyway, these Philadelphia people, man, they fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, baseball, they're the worst. I could see the entire election being held up because
Well,
people in Philadelphia fucked everything up.
I mean, the conspirator in me I really think like in any like battleground state where they could like get a stronghold like this is where we're going to see where it's going to be Friday, and it's Trump and Biden both have 269 electoral college votes,
Yeah.
and they're still counting the ballots.
I'm still gonna keep ragging on Philadelphia. You ever heard of? Brian told me this once that there was this like social project of there was like this doll and it had like a tracking thing on it, and people would basically the doll started in like Japan. And people got it there, and they're like, "Let's send it."
It was a robot.
Yes, a robot.
Yes,
Let's send this robot. So it was basically like a social experiment. Here's a robot, and people in wherever started, right? And they sent the robot to Switzerland, and people in Switzerland were like, "Oh, look, this got sent from Japan. Random people
Yeah.
don't know each other. Let's send this to to Italy." And then people in Italy are like, "Wow, this is awesome. Let's send it to Europe." And it went from country to country, from stranger to stranger. People were so excited, and you would report in the location of where this
Yeah, and
robot
what it
was
was doing,
online, and you
traveling.
could see the robot's progression through the world of stranger sending it to stranger. And then it comes to America, and it ends up going to Philadelphia. And there it was beaten to death and destroyed by people there. And that is where the journey of this robot
Yep.
ended. In the streets of Philadelphia,
It's
just
amazing.
torn apart.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
I tried watching that show, man. I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. I have a couple episodes that are
It's
hysterical, but
fantastic.
sometimes I can't get into I can't get into that brand of comedy over and over and over for like
Oh, it's mindless comedy.
It's
I know you
mindless.
can't handle that. Yeah.
it's mindless. You know what I mean? Like I watch an episode here. The same thing with Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Mindless comedy, and I watch a shitload of Trailer Park Boys, but after a while, it
Oh,
wore
yeah,
me out.
I know.
Yeah.
You got to watch it in its entirety, though.
Trailer Park Boys?
Both.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, you just get one big dosing of that stupidity, but it's worth it. Those are two funny shows.
Are the Trailer Park Boys still doing new shit?
They were filming for a while, and then COVID brought everything to a screeching halt. So I don't know if we're getting a new season or not, or if there's just going to be a season on their SwearNet or whatever.
I would love to go to another live
Oh,
event,
yes.
man. Me and the captain went to a live Trailer Park Boys.
Most for people who don't know what Trailer Park Boys is, it's a very raunchy fucking
Canadian
Canadian comedy show about these trailer trash criminals that are just always partying and getting fucked up and fucking things up around them. And
It's shot as if it's like a documentary and it was real, but it's really not.
yeah, and just it's absolutely a shit show.
Yeah.
24/7.
They had a live special a few years ago that we went to, and man,
The comedy show, yeah.
it was hysterical.
I will still, the best part of the show, like how crazy it was, the two things that stuck out the most is during intermission,
Yeah,
the amount of people that fell down the stairs going
Yeah,
to the
to the bathroom.
bathroom. And then when we left, people digging in the dirt
Yeah.
for their fucking hidden treasures of contraband.
yeah. This
that
may
they couldn't
may or
smuggle
may
in.
not have included us. We were reveling at the fact that while we were
Yeah.
going, we had our flasks. We
Yeah,
left flasks of booze outside the venue, and we went to go pick them back up. We weren't the only ones
Yeah.
picking up booze.
people
and
couldn't
stuff.
find it.
I
See,
also,
yeah, Trump got Utah.
yeah. Only 6 electoral votes, though.
Yeah.
So it's not much. Also, one of my favorite things from that Trailer Park Boys was it was one of the intermissions. So the intermission starts, and one of the characters, Julian, he's always looking for like a
Oh, yeah.
get rich quick scheme or fuck people over. All the other characters get off the stage. The lights turn off, but then the lights turn back on, and out comes Julian, and he's like, "All right, listen, my glass right here, I'm gonna raffle it off to people in the crowd." He's like, "Whatever you got, cash,
Yeah.
highest bidder," and he legitimately raffled off his glass of whiskey or whatever it was for like $500.
Yeah.
And someone had $500 in the crowd, gave it to him. Here you go. He gave him
Yeah.
the glass, put the money in his pocket, and walked off stage. And
Yeah.
he kept that
And he
shit.
goes, I got a case of that glass.
I got a case of those glasses
Yeah.
in the back. Yeah, that's a great get rich quick scheme
Dude,
right there.
that's his like signature is drinking out of those drinks.
Yep. Oh man, wouldn't it be crazy if this ends up in a tie?
No, because then like there would have to be civil war.
Would it be like the NFL? You just you go 0-1, and what happens?
Trump retains the seat. I don't know. Yeah,
No one's leading the division. The presidency is like the NFC East.
yeah,
Just terrible.
just garbage throughout the whole thing.
Yep. Which, my God, man, that game last night. I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but
Loserville.
yeah, the Giants find ways to lose, but they also
I called that so early. I said they will turn it over in the second half as they always do, and that's when I will turn it off because it'll no longer be worth watching. Isn't it suspicious that in the second half of every game there's a turnover that just sends them careening off the cliff?
well, you could blame Daniel Jones for that. You make a mistake, and that shifts the whole momentum of the game, and that's it. Let's look in here. Philadelphia, Biden is obliterating Trump, 78.2% to 21.1%. But Philadelphia is also a disaster apparently with these mail-in ballots.
Well,
and
also,
whatnot.
I was seeing a lot online today about Philadelphia just getting in trouble for illegal polling shit going on.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Biden's obliterating Trump there. So, why is the media concentrating on? He's already, what difference does it make at that point?
I just think
Are we
they see-
expecting Philadelphia to vote for Donald Trump? I doubt it. So,
I don't know why they would call it a night when they could just keep going. You know, like I don't think Pennsylvania is reporting any more ballots today.
really.
Yeah, just to prolong this.
All right. They're saying at 11, what time is it now? 10:44. They're saying at 11 p.m. that 78 more electoral votes are up for grabs. Right? So I guess that means that more polls are closing.
Yeah,
11 makes sense.
that's not too long from now.
Okay, 11 o'clock, California is closing. So that's a big one. Let's see who California votes for.
Shock. They probably won't give it any coverage, just like they're not giving New York any coverage.
Yep, not even a whiff. Trump actually narrowed the gap a little bit in Colorado, but
I don't think he's going to.
no, he's not going to win. No, but it wasn't as bad as it was before. We get any Captain reporting? You get any more news on Kimberly Klasick or nothing still?
No. Let's see. We'll take another look.
Yeah, that's been hard to find for some reason. Interesting. This guy looks like a real mutant, man.
Ah, she's losing.
Yeah? What's going on?
Only 19% reported.
Must.
I'm not even going to take a crack at the dude's name. Kwaisai Muf. MFUME.
Sounds like an African name.
Yeah. He is up by 63%, but it's only 19%, so it's a long way to
Wow.
go. Yeah. Still a long way to go.
She got a lot of coverage, and that's the first time I'm even hearing her opponent's name.
Yeah. Eh, Some of these, local. I think more of the local elections, to be honest with you, and shit like what she's running for, has to be rigged somehow. Because we're saying
more
it like,
easily rigged, definitely.
I've never met anyone who has ever voted for Como de Blasio and what's his other name in New York? Schumer. Never met a single person to vote for any of them, and they've won. You know?
You know what the thing is too with local elections, at least the way I understand it in New York. You have incumbents in New York that have been in there for so long, like Schumer, like Cuomo. They've worked together with like the legislature and whatnot, and the party to like. Not only that sometimes they do run unopposed actually, but they've like gamed the rules to benefit the incumbent only.
Mm-hmm.
So, like even with like registration, right? Like in New York, I don't know if they changed it recently, but if you wanted to vote in the primary for, say, the Democrats, right? You had to have been registered like 9 months before the primary began.
Mm-hmm.
9 months before a primary began,
You
might not even know who's running yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I'll use, for example, say back in 2016, Bernie was like not well known at all 9 months before the primary. And maybe you were a Republican, and you were on the fence, and here comes Bernie, and you go, wow, I think this guy Bernie is pretty interesting. I might want to vote for him in the Democratic primary. Oh, no, wait, you can't change, though. You can't change. You have to be a Democratic Party member to vote in the primary. New York is a closed party. But you couldn't change over because you can only change, if you don't change within the 9 months, it doesn't count. You won't be able to vote in the primary. That's like a form of like how incumbents are always winning because the people who are already part of the party.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say? Like
I get
people
what you're saying,
who are
since you're already part of it 9 months ahead of time, you already know this person.
Yeah, you're just gonna like vote for the guy you know. But people who are switching are more likely switching because they're interested in somebody new and they want to vote for that person new. So not allowing people to switch close to the election
fucks them over.
Favors the incumbent. That's how you get a Schumer and whoever being in power forever. What do you got going on there, buddy?
No, it was just some odd fucking thing that I saw. They caught my eye. What's this? Let's see what Dave Portnoy has to say.
Donald Trump is once again the president. I predicted it. Okay, let me be the first guy to say it's a done deal. Donald Trump is once again the president. I predicted it. I've been saying for months.
I don't
know where he's getting that from. He must be.
How do you have this information?
I think all the pizza maybe went to his head so far.
How bad the Democrats are running a campaign and why I knew they.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Dave.
So we're in hour 3 here now. Things have seemed to have stalled. I'll say that. Before, man, when hour 2, like, news was coming in hot.
In about 10 minutes,
some
apparently.
New York stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is just random.
That's for the house.
Seats, yeah. There's no, like, information behind a lot of these things, too. Like, what's House CD 7?
City District 7.
I guess, right?
Yeah. See, Nadler's destroying again. I guess because he's the incumbent, they know who he is, where, his opponent, you know nothing about.
All right, look, you got a Republican win in there. Yeah, man. Gonna be a long night, I think. I was, like I said, an hour 2, I thought we were turning this thing around and we might get an answer here, but I don't think we're getting an answer.
I even think tonight's just too early, because I think the conspirator in me, to be honest with you, I really feel like if Trump starts just dominating across the board in different, like, battle zone states, they'll just do what Pennsylvania did and, like, oh, we're not going to count any more ballots tonight. Good night.
Yeah, but is that what Pennsylvania actually said, that they're not counting in more ballots?
I don't think so.
Need to get a fact checker on here. To
Democrats
fact check you,
have control over the House of Representatives. Yeah, I kind of seen that, but I don't know what's going on with the Senate. Very unclear what's going on with Senate, House, and House of Representatives.
Yeah, we went through a Schoolhouse Rock the last hour.
We should have watched that while we were on our break.
should have,
Schoolhouse
yeah.
Rock.
We should have brushed up on our judicial, executive, legislature knowledge.
Florida's been at
Stuck at
91% for like 2
91%.
hours now.
Yeah,
Maybe Georgia's been going on. Georgia's been at 61% since we logged on at like 7 o'clock.
Frustrating, man. Democracy is frustrating. I wish we go back to the good old days of
I said
kings and queens.
I really wish I could just go back to the days where I could be sitting at home playing video games right now, not giving a fuck what is going on.
Yeah, you chose to get involved in this
Yeah,
shit.
I did,
so-
and it was a terrible mistake.
Oh, man. Yep.
Look, they just have, what is that, Pennsylvania on the screen for hours now.
Now listen to what they got to say. Let's turn it up. This guy looks fabulous
Yeah.
with his hair.
Because he was a judge, and probably Andy's too, because he worked in the federal system. Politics and the justice system don't go well together, and it should not be the Supreme Court having to decide this, but it should be the Pennsylvania Supreme Court putting them in a position where they have to.
So there really seems like they're raking Pennsylvania over the coals.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good panel. Well, still a lot of races that we're waiting to call at the moment.
Oh, Lord.
Well, Zoo, my prediction, I think it's still Trump. I don't know.
I said before that I thought Biden was going to win, but now
Yeah,
things are-
I think we're still just going to see changes all throughout the night everywhere.
yeah. Although Trump is still behind technically and has been behind since
Yeah.
the beginning. What is
Oh,
this? This
boy,
is
we got a new
with
Tom Hanks
Tom
movie?
Hanks movie. So what? He's not on
Yeah.
the
He's-
shit list anymore. What movie is this? I didn't know anything about this. This looks pretty cool. It's like a western.
I'm sure
with
he
Tom
crashes
Hanks.
somewhere in his traps and can't get back.
That's good. So what? How long do you want to go with this, man? Because you know
I
we
don't
can
know.
sit here spinning the tires forever.
I'm not worried. We got some people coming on. As long as we get some
Yeah.
viewers.
Give us
and
some shit to talk about, man. Me and
Yeah.
the captain will run out of statistics to quote here. It seems like reporting has
Yeah, it's just
completely
slowing down
stalled.
now. It's hitting the wall.
Maybe in 7 minutes at 11 we'll get some new information. Oh, here's Conor McGregor. Is he fighting again? Is he gonna? What's going on with that?
Probably.
Is he
I'm
gonna
sure
fight
he's
Khabib
running
again?
out of money. All these fighters do the same thing.
What a just crazy person Conor McGregor is. You seen that video where he was in the bar in Ireland and he punched some old guy right in the head?
Yeah. It's going to be days.
Oh, he's actually-
100 million
He's actually
votes.
trying to. This is Conor McGregor trying to raise money for the Tunnel to Towers organization. Good for him. That's interesting. He's not even American, and he's
Yeah.
trying to raise money for first responders who passed away on 9/11. That's good for him.
So I guess in a few minutes, all the polls across America are closed.
Yeah. Well, maybe not like Hawaii and Alaska,
True.
right? They're like
Yeah.
a million miles away. But
Water.
what's that? Oh, you need water?
I've lost my bottle of water. And it's you. Oh, here it is.
100 million early votes to go. Yeah, I agree with that. Why bother with the projections? But why did they wait until today? You know, if there was 100 million early votes sent in, why the fuck did they wait for today?
Yeah.
They should have counted it and not reported what the results were yet. Because if you count all, like say they counted them in advance, right? And
I think it's
No-
just fear of altering them. Yeah.
no, I'm not talking about altering. Like say they count all the votes, the mail-in votes that already were there, and they count them early, and 90% of them for Joe Biden. Then a week ago they reported, oh well, look, Biden's winning the election. They shouldn't have done that because that could
You just
sway.
want them to count and fucking
Just count it so we have it, hit confidentially done.
Yeah.
This whole election system is like kids that wait for the last minute to do their homework.
Just ridiculous at this point.
Trump is still leading the national popular vote, and his margin has gotten larger.
Yeah.
He's
400,000
got
above.
about 3 million more votes so far than Biden. That is going to swing drastically, I would think, once
Once California-
California.
And if they ever report a
chimes
single
in.
number from New York.
No, New York's probably factored into that. I would assume, right? Because they were
Still too early to call Florida. It's been at 91% for over an hour now.
well, it's like 11 o'clock in Florida. All the Florida men are now out at the strip club.
Oh yeah, they're
They gave
wrestling
up,
alligators.
They gave up counting ballots for a night.
Oh my God, I could hear him talking about COVID-19.
This is the COVID election.
West Coast polls close at midnight. All right.
It's weird, man. Now that we're, they made the decision to like alter the way the election works because of COVID such a long time ago.
Yeah. And
But
there's no plan.
back during the primaries.
Yeah.
And was that really that necessary?
No, I don't. That was something I was trying to say at the beginning when we started arguing and talking and discussing about mail-in ballots. It's just that like I said it from the start. My first stance was, if you could wait online at Whole Foods, if you could wait online at Home Depot to go in and do what you got to do in there, you could wait online and go to you go to your polling station without a problem. And that's exactly what I did today, and I don't see an issue why we had to change anything.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people actually did go in person.
Yes.
So if they were selling it in the beginning of, we need to change the way we're going to do the election because it's not safe and people are going to be too scared or not able to go in person.
Just doom and gloom.
That wasn't really true. A lot of people still went. We got a nice question from my boy Jim here. And he says, you guys think that the mail-in votes will be used as a case to debate the results of the election?
Yep.
Yeah, it could be.
Yep.
It could be. We were talking about this before. It might not matter, if either one of these guys get to, you need 270 electoral votes. If they somehow get to that number tonight, it won't really matter. The rest of the votes didn't get counted yet because the way I put it before is like, if you're playing baseball and you're the home team and you're winning in the 9th inning, and then you finish the top of the 9th, you won. You don't have to finish the bottom of the 9th. You already won, so it won't matter. But if we don't, like if by tomorrow we don't know who the winner is,
it's going to be nerve-wracking. But I think it's going to be used as a case because I think in like battleground states, like it's just going to be used to like prolong this because. Listen, like, one thing we've always agreed on is, like, the media and the House and Pelosi can never give Trump a victory. And if this could prolong it another day before they give Trump a victory, they will prolong it another day.
Hey, they were the ones saying, do not concede no matter what.
Yeah.
But they said,
they told that to Biden,
to use smoke him out of
they said they would smoke his ass out of the White House. They'd send in exterminators. And then they told Biden to not concede under any circumstances, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. It's just we live in an alternate universe here. It's insane.
I've never in my life have I seen politicians openly threatening other politicians. It's what blows my father away the most is like he lived through like the Nixon impeachment, and he's like they didn't even treat Nixon like this, and Nixon
he was a legitimate
guilty.
criminal basically.
Yeah. Nixon was literally found guilty, and they didn't even treat him like this.
That's how polarized things are, man. Social media has polarized.
Yeah.
Social media has polarized the population, and then like politicians they just do whatever they need to do in order to remain in power. So like, you think Nancy Pelosi is like on a Twitter war with Mitch McConnell all day going back and forth? No. They just do whatever is gonna win them their election. So like if
whatever they're told to do,
like wherever the wind blows, they're gonna go. So like if social media has caused people to become more divided, then they're gonna act more divided or divisive because
that's easier for them.
If that's what's gonna get them to win, then that's what they're gonna do. We got going on here.
Nothing. I'm checking my.
How fast do you think a stimulus package will pass once the results are final, or do you think it will still be delayed till possibly next year?
Oh, if it's Trump, they'll delay it till next year. Pelosi's still not going to want to work with him because if there's any issues with the results of the election and like it does favor Trump, Pelosi's going to be like, oh well, we don't have the proper results yet. We can't work on a stimulus. I could see her saying that.
That's first of all, yeah, that's gonna definitely be based on the results of the election.
Yeah.
Because if this shit is dragged out for weeks, ain't nothing else at
Yeah.
all getting
Nope.
done at all in any way, shape, or form. Because all the media, all the politicians and whatnot are going to be talking about is this. And I'm pretty sure that Congress doesn't go back into session until like November 9th.
Okay,
Right, so
yeah.
it's it's the second now, so we still have another week
No, it's
before
the
they
third.
even get back in there. And if this is not resolved by then, all they're going to do is go in there and start
Nope.
screaming at each other.
Yeah,
They're not
there's
gonna-
no point of
they're
even
not going
talking
to care,
about
right?
it. Yeah.
Right, like you're saying, say there's no clear winner, then both sides are not going to go negotiate on anything because they're not sure who the
Yeah.
president is
And-
going to be.
And if Biden wins, Pelosi's still not going to work with Trump in his
Yeah.
remaining time in office either. So you're
And Trump
so-
might not want to work with her either. He might be,
Oh yeah, no.
fuck it, I
at
lost.
that
What do I
point,
give
yeah,
a fuck?
I'm sure. But like, so that still means like stimulus would have to wait until Biden becomes
Yeah,
president.
which is January 20th.
and that's,
And even then,
we might not even
who's to
COVID
say?
might be away. Biden has conquered COVID.
Yeah.
You don't need a stimulus check anymore.
On day one.
Yeah.
Well, he's already said that his like primary focus when he gets into office is going to be like the masks and whatnot. So it's not going to be economic stimulus as far as I could.
I still want to see, like where all these people are not wearing masks. Like I almost want to travel.
It's these other states, bro.
Yeah.
Over here, people just do it. It's become accepted more. But
so
these
I'm
southern
expecting
states,
a big jump for Biden right here.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise. He's going to win California, obviously. So California has 55 electoral votes. So, I mean, all right, so now if the West Coast is all coming in, and most of it is for Joe,
It's all for
what's
Joe.
left,
Yeah.
Like I said, the two
Idaho's
states
got
out
Trump.
in the middle of nowhere, they don't, they don't even, Alaska and Hawaii don't have many electoral votes to begin with. So it's not like they're going to.
But see, you know what? We
Okay.
still got Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
All the swing states.
They keep dragging their feet.
Yeah.
You know what's going to end up happening? They drag their feet for, let's just say, to protect Biden or whatever, and Trump really wins those. Like, Biden's going to be close to 270. Trump's going to win all these, potentially win all these, and run away with it, too.
So you see it though as you're seeing it as they're trying to fuck over Trump, but
I
it's
see
close.
everything as fucking over
I
Trump
know.
now.
But if it's close, don't you
Yeah.
need to make sure that
No, I agree.
you're counting it correctly? Like we were saying before, if it's within 1 or 2 points, you can't just declare somebody the winner.
No,
and
that's
there's
for sure.
ways to go. Things could change. What's going on? I see things popping up on the feed here.
Oh, yeah. I wish I knew what the need for the Electoral College is if we have the popular vote and vice versa. Why bother
Yeah.
having the popular vote if we're just going to rely on the Electoral College?
Well,
And the big thing still to me is the mystery of the Electoral College. Who's on it? Where are they right now? Why don't they get interviewed? What's the process like?
yeah, I spoke about it a little bit before, but the Electoral College is like this relic of the past where it literally said they were literally saying back in the day that the average Joe wasn't smart enough to vote for the president, or it couldn't be like they couldn't be responsible enough to make an educated decision
Yeah.
to vote for president. So they had to create the Electoral College, which these people would cast their vote, and then the popular vote doesn't really matter, I guess you could say. I mean, it does, right? Because
Right.
each state has to vote for the president, and then if that state, if the population within the state, most of them vote for Trump, then the Electoral College votes are going to go to Trump, right?
Yeah.
Or Biden,
Yeah.
vice versa. Which is weird, right? Like they're not really even a voter; they're just
No.
doing as told.
Yeah, they're basically going
Why are they even
based
calling
off
them a
of
voter?
everything.
It's like a points scheme,
Yeah.
points system.
But what I don't get though is like what happened last election, where Hillary won the popular vote, and then like Trump just walks away with it with the electoral vote. Like,
Right, because he won. It's gamesmanship, right?
yeah,
It's,
it's
he
weird.
won state. He won.
I know he won more states. I get it.
He won states where he won more states and where there was more electoral votes to
Yeah.
be had. You know?
No, I understand it. It's just it's weird like how we have these two systems. Like I don't mind it, but that's because it worked out for me in the past. Whereas the next time if it doesn't,
Yeah, you're
You're
not
gonna
gonna like
hate
it. Then
it,
that's why. Regardless, I think it should be done away with, but it won't be done away with because
No.
it'd have to be voted on, like I said before, by each state individually to abolish it. And the states that like it are the smaller states.
Yeah.
They're not going to vote again.
Well, that's what happens because then it just turns into California and New York fucking.
But it
determining-
doesn't. It doesn't. People always say that. Yes, of course, more people live
Yeah,
in
those
California,
big
New York, but
metropolitan areas. Yeah.
but each person's vote still counts for one.
Yeah.
So, yes. So what? More people live in Los Angeles, and more people.
Oh, Trump just won Florida.
It's all right. I should only 29 votes though.
Yeah.
That's not going to swing anything much.
Yeah, but that might lead up to Georgia and just go straight up north. Whoops.
I'm gonna go back to my original prediction and say that Biden's probably going to win.
Yeah, well, very big
Next week.
possibility. Yeah,
next week he'll win. What's going on in Texas? It's 11 o'clock, and we were saying the last election was called at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was called, it wasn't even like officially called either. It was Hillary conceded, actually.
Yeah, well, because Trump had already had the numbers.
I don't think he
But-
did officially.
Oh, well, yeah, he's probably at like.
Like she saw that there was no like mathematical
Yeah.
path to her winning or something. Is that going to happen this time?
Who knows?
Could you see? Could you see?
Well, I could tell you. If Trump has like 268, like they're not going to let him say he won.
Oh, let's see. We're talking about the Electoral College. I think that just shows the Electoral College. Yes, definitely shows that the Electoral College is retarded. But they can choose not to vote that way. So, I don't know. Is it rule that they have to vote for the way that their state vote? If they could just vote the other way,
Yeah, then you could just throw the election however you want.
and then every time one of these candidates wins a state, they're saying, "Oh, well, now they've been awarded those electoral votes." Are we sure? Did all the voters vote that way? Did any of them in some alternate universe, if New York voted for Trump, you think Hillary is going to vote
Yeah,
for
no, she's not.
Trump as her
I
an
already
electoral
said-
voter? But I'm saying the media is just reporting, "Oh, well, all the votes went,
Yeah.
all the electoral votes went to that candidate."
It's
Is that accurate?
the thing I have a problem with it is so suspicious of how it actually like is determined because they're right. Like they don't have to vote that way.
It's very odd the way
Yeah.
we decipher an election here in America. We're allowing these corporations to give it to us instead of it coming
Yeah.
from the source.
And I mean, if we're going to talk about the popular vote, Trump would be winning right now.
Like maybe the election results should be on C-SPAN, and the results should be getting provided by all the board of elections to C-SPAN.
Something, yeah.
Why are we allowing these news, private institutions to tell us what's going on? It's impossible. They can't keep personal bias out of it.
Yeah, no, they absolutely can't. Not at this point. Let's see what CNN has. Trump has what, one electoral vote?
On CNN.
They still okay.
Someone
they-
just threw we're watching Fox here. Somebody just threw a marker at one of the other guys.
wow.
A Sharpie.
They have Biden now at 192 and Trump at 108 for CNN.
They're way behind on Fox.
Yeah.
Biden's in the 200s here.
Yeah, I don't know. They were slow last time, man. I don't get
Oh
it.
man, Wolf Blitzer, he's got to start drinking some fucking Monster Energies or something over there. I don't know what's going on, but he's got to pick up the pace. I think they're showing now the
How
difference,
wrong
how
they
wrong
were.
the polls were
Yeah.
for Florida. They're saying the Quinnipiac original poll for Florida was off by 5%.
New York Times is off by 3%.
Those fucking polls are so suspect anyway. Who are you asking? What's your sample size?
Oh, we can't be shared. Shocking. Is that something that we do or?
I don't know. this whole week was suspicious on Instagram.
It really
if anybody
was.
wasn't aware, this Instagram made a decision to disable all hashtags for the past week leading up to the election because they were concerned fake news was going to get out and influence the election. So I was even thinking about like our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
You couldn't all the hashtags we used, you know,
Yeah,
browsing
don't even
nudity
get
shorts,
work, yeah.
hashtag 2 new men, didn't even work because we can't see anything. Even things that don't have to do with
Yeah,
with the
anything
election.
recent has been taken off. Yeah.
right. So it's been probably like 10 days. You can't see any
Yeah.
any recent shit.
And who fucking gave IG the authority to do such a thing? Oh, we're going to stop the spread of misinformation, so you're going to stop the spread of all information.
Mm-hmm. And all that stuff, man, all of those fact check things are always against conservatives.
Isn't it
When-
funny that fact checking came out right after Obama got out of office?
Yeah.
Like,
It's very blatant, you know? It's very, very blatant.
it's ridiculous.
Those when the tech CEOs were in Congress, I think it was earlier this week or last week, that was all like there were some good points, like some
Yeah,
of them
but
made some good,
nothing
but it
happened.
was a lot of like political grandstanding,
Mhm.
like, you know, how dare you and this.
I
Nothing
just-
changed.
yeah.
Nothing is going to change.
I don't understand how like they could just keep coming on and be like, "Oh, this person lied." Okay, well if they lied, then why aren't they in cuffs yet?
Yeah, right. With what's his face, Jack Dorsey
Yeah,
and whatnot.
Jack Dorsey. Yeah,
My main concern going forward, man, these two guys are not going to change your daily life that much, but like social media and whatnot, they could have a direct effect on your life. They could curate all the news you see. They can psychologically like influence people to behave a certain way.
yeah.
Said it before. Watch Social Dilemma. The documentary on Netflix. It will show you like this shit legitimately can shape like perception,
mind, yeah.
culture, you know, your mind. Yeah. And it's like it's not even like, yes, there's people doing fact checking and whatnot, but it's an algorithm. Like
Yeah.
a computer is shaping the consciousness of society almost to behave a certain way.
Yeah, no,
It's not even
'cause-
like people making those decisions most of the time.
yeah,
It's it's like Skynet.
yeah, and it basically learns from what you're searching from. My Explorer page is completely different from your Explorer page, and that's why we get
What
different.
do you mean Explorer page?
The little
Oh, okay.
the magnifying
Oh,
glass.
okay, the search page.
Yeah,
you mean.
the search page. I call it the Explorer page. But like it's just a conglomerate of all things I watch. It's a lot of food,
Mhm.
a lot of comics and stuff like that. But that's where you end up shaping like
Right.
the algorithm to like what you like the most. So now they know like how to sneak in advertisements to you as well.
Yeah.
Like so you know how Brian's always buying those stupid drinking things off of Instagram?
Yes.
Because I'm
It's
sure
not- yeah.
he follows 25 different whiskey companies and 25 different
Yeah.
beer companies, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this kid likes to drink a good beer. Let's advertise this fucking."
Right.
You know, like I'm always getting advertised those little goat gun shits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure you probably see advertisements for hunting stuff
All
and
the
stuff.
time. Yeah. You see, but that's fine. Like marketing material items, I have no problem with. It's the political stuff. If you see a point that you know Trump makes and you like it, okay,
Mhm.
and now the algorithm's going to remember that, and it's going to show you another thing that good point that Trump makes. I'm just using Trump as an example.
And then
And,
you
so-
just go
and the
down
more you
rabbit
like
hole.
it,
Yeah.
the more you like it, the more it's going to show you it, and you're going to become stuck in what's called an echo chamber, right? Where like you're now only seeing a certain point of view, and this certain point of view is starting to like influence the way you think. So
Yeah.
you're going to think, you know, look, this is what's really happening because this is the only thing I'm seeing, and you're
That's-
never seeing another point of view. You're not
Yeah.
having a conversation.
That's why a few episodes, I don't remember what the topic was, but I made you look up a certain subject because it was just going to be too skewed for me to
Right.
look it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we actually have to use each other's page to look up things differently.
Mhm.
And then Angie is going on about the independent fact checkers. Yeah, you know what's strange too though is like who are the fact checkers on top of it? And I saw a fact check. The one that confused me the most was so like it was this big thing about Biden's losing it. He was standing in front of a banner. He was apparently in Pennsylvania, but the banner said Tampa, Florida or something like that. Like I guess there was some type of typo or whatever. but the banner, I guess they put up the wrong banner in the wrong town or something like that, and nobody caught it, and Biden went out there and talked anyway. And the IG fact checkers were like, this is false. This is an altered image. It's Biden walking in front of a billboard talking, and the billboard says Tampa, Florida. Like, it's maybe it is. Maybe it is a tampered photo. I don't know how you would do that, but like, seems pretty real to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. See, the fact check thing, at least you can still read the article or see
Yeah.
the picture. The shit that happened recently where they just blocked the New York Post,
Oh,
that's a Pandora's box they've never opened before.
well, no,
And,
now
and
they
now
did.
they had, you know, I'm
Yeah.
saying up until now. And that's my biggest concern. Like what I was talking about before, the echo chamber of you only seeing a Trump thing, or in the future, maybe Biden becomes president, and you're only going to see Biden things, and
That-
maybe they're going to
yeah.
just censor any negative story or news or anything anyone has to say negative about the president in the future, regardless of it's Biden or whoever. You know, if the tech monopolies, if they like the guy in charge, everything is going to fit that narrative.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be stuck in an echo chamber. And that's how you get put into like a brainwashed fucking society where
here's
there's no
the-
free thinkers.
Yeah, you're correct on that. And the thing I wanted to say was, I have a strong feeling within the next few days, like if Trump really goes on another Twitter rampage about results and stuff like that, they will censor the president. I really feel like they will. Like we
Yeah, they
might
already
see
opened
something crazy. Yeah,
They already opened the Pandora's box on it. That's when I was listening to Alex Jones the other day. He was, as crazy as he is, he was trying to make the point that like the globalists are trying. His crazy point was like globalists are trying to like eliminate national borders, and
yeah,
a way they're doing it is like through influencing with social media and whatnot. You know, if you can like get everyone to think a certain way, and then you just tell them like this is the way everything should be, and
yeah.
you know,
You're
and you just,
brainwashing them.
it's not going to happen in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, but like 60, 70, 100. Imagine 200 years from now
Of just
how
this.
advanced like algorithms and AIs and everything could be. Maybe hopefully people will have woken up to this bullshit by then and have pushed back.
Yeah,
But
If it hasn't
technology
just
is only
taken
going to get
over.
better, right? It'll only get more sophisticated, and it'll only have more of a way to brainwash people and influence people to believe a certain way. I hope, man. I hope that there's people out there that, you know, realize this shit and that there is a danger to all that stuff.
Yeah,
know?
I doubt that as we're on social media right now. Yo, whenever I search Kimberly Klasick, just my Google freezes and shuts down. It's just her name for some reason.
Awesome. Try anything else. If they censor Trump, Ted Cruz is going to spontaneously combust on live TV. He probably
yeah.
will. It's funny too, man, because Ted Cruz was like a heavy critic of Trump in the beginning, and wasn't Trump talking shit about
Yeah.
Ted Cruz's wife? And now, yeah, he definitely was.
I think
in
he was.
2016,
In 2016,
primary.
they hated each other,
Yeah.
but I think something happened behind the scenes that woke up Ted Cruz, and then he just became a huge Trump supporter.
He you got to go with your guy. You
Yeah.
know, he fell in line, I guess you could say. He makes good points though sometimes too. You know, I think sometimes he's a bit nuts, but sometimes he makes good points. Same way I think AOC. Sometimes she makes crazy, she says crazy shit, but sometimes she makes good points too.
Kimberly Klasick is still behind.
Doesn't sound good for her.
No.
Surprising, But then again, I don't know what the local landscape looks like in that area
Yeah.
of Baltimore. I don't know what people's mentality is, and
Hold on. What was that? Tiffany, where did you find this? Klasick has 36.3%.
you know what I'm trying to say though. Like to me and you, Kimberly Klasick sounded like
Yeah.
a good idea. And
Well, we only saw her advertisement because it blew up on
Right.
Instagram. We don't know in that district
Right,
how
did it-
hard the other guy was campaigning
Campaigning.
either. You know what I mean? Just because he didn't blow up on YouTube doesn't mean he didn't do anything.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand that district. You know, how do I know that anybody in that district even saw Kimberly Klasick's blow up?
Yeah.
She might have blown up nationally, but did anybody in that area are they on Instagram, Twitter that much? You know?
What if they shadow banned her in that area?
Holy shit, that's a good point. If anybody's not familiar with what shadow banning is,
Yep.
you could be banned
Dirty
on,
little trick.
you know, Instagram could disagree with what you have to say, and they just ban you without notifying you that you're banned. So
Yep.
you can still post, you can still do everything, you can still interact with people, but you post something and they just limit
Yeah.
how many people are going to see it. So you
They
know,
did that with a lot of the Q pages. So like if you would type in like if I was to type in like the first 2 letters of your Instagram name, you'd come up in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
But with like the old, they got rid of a lot of those pages as well. If you would have to type in like the whole thing, like you'd have to type in the name, the underscores, the numbers, like it would have to be 100% the name before it would show up in your list.
I hear you.
Like you had to go the extra mile to actually
Right,
find them.
right. Rob Brewer, thank you, man. Appreciate it. And when you think about it, I'm just thinking about shadow banning.
That's crazy. Like,
Technically, though, it is crazy, right? Technically, everyone is shadow banned to an extent, right? The more we've tried to promote,
oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry, if this is correct, Kimberly just lost.
she's gonna lose, dude.
I think
get it
she
ready.
just
Yeah,
lost.
she's gonna lose. That sucks, you know. She was, you know, she was refreshing.
She was a progressive.
Yeah, it was refreshing, but hey, you know, what can you do? The point I was going to make is that everyone is technically shadow banned, right? Because the more that we've tried to like promote the podcast and put ourselves out there and our message and whatnot, I've come to like see how it works. And you know, we have 1,000 followers that we just recently got on
We were
Instagram.
close to 1,100, and then Instagram took way more, or people. Stopped.
Yeah, I also posted a couple things that are controversial, and some, you know, snowflake Trump supporters unfriended us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, say you have 1,000 followers, and then you post something. You can go look at the insights on your post, and for some reason, it only will, you know, on average, like our posts will reach 300-400 people. What about the other 600 people?
Yeah. that
How
we
come
have.
it never reached them? It's because technically, you're shadow banned to a point. If you want to reach everyone, you have to pay Instagram for promotion or whatever. And it doesn't matter if you're a business page or an influencer page or just a regular personal page. I don't know if you can see insights on personal pages, but
No, you can't.
if you
So I
could,
think-
though, I guarantee you it'd be the same thing. There's
I
only a
don't know,
certain reach that your post is
Yeah.
getting to.
I would feel though that a personal page, because this page is set up as a business page, so I
Right.
think as a personal page, you wouldn't be shadow banned to your followers. You know what I mean? Like all the people, like my personal Instagram is a private Instagram account.
But I don't.
So
but I don't
only
think...
the only people that could see me are the people who okayed themselves to see me. So I don't know if I would get like as shadow banned. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, there's a difference between like an actual shadow ban where someone that works for Instagram or whoever looks at your page and says, "Fuck that, we're gonna ban them." And then the point I'm trying to make is that there's like a limit everyone has on their social media pages, and the only way to bypass that limit is to pay them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Regardless
guess
if
so.
you're a business page or a personal page or whatever. And a lot of people aren't even familiar with that because I don't think you could see
Oh, wait, hold on.
Arizona. So it looks like,
Wow.
Biden wins Arizona. 53-45. I think Biden's going
But
to win,
it's
dude.
73%. Man.
I
Yeah.
don't see.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
let me give you my political, statistician speak here. I don't see a path to victory, as the
Yeah.
pundits normally say, a mathematical path to victory here. There's not much more reporting to go that seems like it could go in his favor. I mean, maybe I'm wrong again. I don't know, but he's been behind most of the time. Unless he's going to pull off a last-second comeback here, with, been inventing some more electoral votes somewhere. I don't know. Not looking good for the old captain here.
not looking good for a lot of us then.
I'd like to see an updated count right now of the of everything. And like I said before, man, this might be egg on the face of a lot of Republicans who laughed when Trump didn't win the popular vote and
Oh yeah, now he's
and
going to
won.
win the
Now it's
popular
gonna
vote, yeah.
gonna go the opposite way. And
Yep.
let's see. You know what?
The only
Well,
scary
maybe-
thing though is like Kamala Harris is that much closer to being president now.
Unfortunately,
The woman who polled at 1%.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You know what's weird about Kamala Harris? I was saying the other day, it seems like anytime someone asks her a question or she's been asked a couple of tough questions, she just starts uncontrollably laughing. What is that?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Why do you do that, Kamala
It's
Harris?
her only defense mechanism to stop, to help her lie.
People ask Trump really hard questions all the time. People ask Joe Biden not that many hard questions, but they ask him questions. He doesn't just start uncontrollably laughing. It's odd when you just you get asked a question and you get put on the spot and you just start laughing about it.
Yeah. Nervous laughter.
Yeah, it's very weird. This is like the 10th time I've seen this commercial of Tim Allen trying to stick his
the
beer
last
through
man
a catcher's
standing.
mask. So what time did we start? I think we only got a few minutes left here until the this feed ends.
Possibly.
Yeah. So everybody who's watching now, you probably weren't watching when we first started this live feed, but accidentally I saved over the first hour of
real fun stuff.
audio recording. So when we post up the full version, it's probably going to be missing the first hour, unless I can find a way to recover it. But, technology.
The technological revolution is now.
You want to take a quick break?
I don't know how much more I got left in me to come back, but when are you trying to come back?
15, 20 minutes? 10 minutes. How about 10
We
minutes?
can do that.
I feel like we're going to get
I'm completely running out of steam, but we might
No,
see
I
a
know,
change.
but I feel like we're going
I
to...
guarantee you Tucker Carlson's going to come on
Yeah.
the second
Every
week.
time we go on break, Tucker Carlson. I can't say his name for some
Neither
reason
can I.
tonight.
It's not easy.
Tucker Carlson is going to come on and talk. I feel like Biden's going to win, and we might get some sort of something happen soon. Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back as the Instagram live is going to end in a few anyway.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for the questions, and everything. That was a good session, guys. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
And we're back for our final installment.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like we're going to get an answer tonight.
No.
Who's going to be the president of this great nation?
Isn't it amazing though that like all the battleground states still like haven't been called?
Right, which is while you were in the house taking a dump, like you were saying at the end of the last broadcast.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah, you said it, not me. I was watching CBS here with the volume on, and I was actually able to learn a little bit what the fuck's going on. So first thing I learned is that they did actually stop counting votes in Pennsylvania, specifically in Philadelphia, because of a labor issue. They said. That's it. That's all I got.
Yep, thanks, Philly.
So that was the situation there. So that's definitely one problem at the moment. There's going to be votes that need to be counted there. The other thing I'm starting to understand is that we're probably not going to learn anytime soon who's winning, because it's going to come down to the Midwestern states, which are like Michigan, up there.
Wisconsin,
Yeah, and those states are in like a heavy slowdown of counting the votes. It has to do a lot with the mail-in votes. So those states specifically, that's why we're not getting those results yet, because it has to do with the mail-in votes. So we may not be getting an answer because of that.
Oh, I'm sure that's exactly why we're not getting an answer. But I don't know. I still kind of agree with the idea that, like, fine, yes, like, votes, you need more time to count the votes into tomorrow. I could get behind that. But to count votes, like, 9-10 days away from now, horseshit. Bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't think it's going to take that long, because I
don't think so.
I think Biden's going to win. I honestly think Biden's going to win because he has such a lead already, and it's getting late here. And I don't.
But see,
Trump
has most of those states that haven't been called yet in the lead too. All those battleground states.
I don't think he did. I mean, we'll look again when it swings around again. When we left too, Biden took over the popular vote as well.
Yes.
So things are trending down for Trump. He would have to win those states that, like, it's not set up good for him. He'd have to win basically the rest of those states, all of them. Mm-hmm. And those are all states that are relying on the mail-in ballot. So now you're going to tell me you're relying on the mail-in ballot to make mail-in ballot?
Just because they're mail-in doesn't mean they're not Trump.
No, they don't, but those things are going to skew Democratic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Regardless if you want to say it's fixed, or if the whole idea or system was bullshit. I'm just telling. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
not taking a side. I'm
No, I
telling you
agree.
what I think. I don't know. I don't see how he's going to win. Honestly.
So for right now, Google has Texas. They still Google still hasn't given Trump Florida.
it's been called, I believe.
Yes.
Florida for
Yeah.
Trump. So
Okay.
Google.
So,
I mean, yeah. I don't want to try to be like.
but so anyway, so right now, Trump has the lead in Texas, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia.
Where are you getting this from? Google?
So he
Yeah, but
has-
then again, you're saying that Google's way behind.
well, yeah, because they still haven't given him Florida, which I don't understand.
So this is on. We're now watching CBS, and CBS has different,
Yeah.
up to the minute results at the moment than
Yeah,
Fox did.
Biden isn't even breaking 200
when
yet.
we were watching Fox, Biden was in the 200s, and we're now watching CBS, and Biden's in 187.
This is the guy
This
that
is the astronaut that hates
isn't this
Trump.
the guy that they Project
Kelly.
Veritas went after as well?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna win in Arizona, his district. He was losing big time before. Now
Really?
he's gonna
Yeah.
win, yeah.
Things
So
change.
that's flipping. That's a Republican lost there. So me and the captain here, we think we're going to go to midnight because I don't think we're getting a official decision. But my prediction is that Joe Biden is going to win.
God help us all.
And like I said, I don't remember if this is part of the hour one that we lost, probably. But where do we go from here if he wins? Or I'm going to hold him accountable for
Yeah.
as much as I've defended Trump the past few weeks, I'm still for a lot of the progressive ideas that Bernie was for. So if Biden becomes president now, and he promised to work with progressives and whatnot, he's going to have to be held to that, and I'm going to do that. You know what I mean?
well,
You're gonna, and I don't think he's going to be. A lot of people are going to wake up and realize they voted against Trump, and what they got was a guy who's softer toned and is going to talk nice to you and say the right things. But it's going to be business as usual, and he's going to serve the corporatist class. If you look at some statistics came out the other day over who contributed to both campaigns, Wall Street overwhelmingly contributed to Joe Biden. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
He is
All the
now
big
he
wigs, yeah.
now he owes him now, right?
Yeah.
He owes him. When they gave him a shit ton of money to help him win to become president, and that's the way it fucking goes. He's gonna have to now. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. When he becomes president, he's gonna be beholden to some Wall Street interests.
Ooh, let's see. I guess Jerry must be watching Fox. He's saying Ohio called.
Let's go back over to Fox, man. I feel like Fox is more on the ball with their reporting. CBS a little bit behind. And,
Yeah, I was just talking to someone else, and they're saying that Fox is leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else.
You know what I mean? And that could just be indicative on, like I said earlier, I think maybe they're just better at collecting this information. More efficient, faster. Maybe they got more people working on it.
Yeah, so I could see Ohio's red and Trump's up to 166.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Biden's closing that lead to 270, man.
It's the top states there: Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina. They were saying that
And
those.
Trump's leading in all of those apparently right now.
Let's see. Let's watch the scroll here and see. But the way I understood is that we're not going to get an answer because we're going to be waiting on the mail-in ballots for those states, and those states are going to be the ones that determine basically who's going to be the president here. And like you're saying, okay, maybe Trump is winning in some of those states, but that's not
ballots.
including the mail-in ballots that are going to take time to count. That, in my opinion, is going to probably heavily favor Biden, whether it's rigged or just because Democrats are more likely to vote in mail-in ballot, whatever. But that is the case. We're not going to probably know tonight. I still think that Biden's going to win. I mean, I want him to win. I'm just trying to tell you what I think is going to happen. So yes,
It's amazing they've given no information still on New York or California.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
New York, we really our votes don't matter. They paid no attention to any of it. They barely even paid any attention to the local races.
Yeah.
Throughout New York. Let's see here. Montana's not going to matter. It's only like
Yeah.
a handful of votes. Trump is going to have to win like all the remaining states.
Yeah.
Not impossible, you know. I could see him winning Texas.
I really doubt he's going to lose Texas. What was I just going to look up? Oh, here we go. Where did we say Montana? Right?
That's how many votes does Montana have? Because there's like nothing. Montana's still great. It's the
3
only-
electoral
Yeah, so it
votes.
doesn't. It's a non-factor.
And Trump's leading in it. Oh, this is where the Libertarian Party's got 2.4%.
Wow, making strides.
Yeah.
Making strides.
Let's see where they are.
They ran really.
Hold on. Okay, the Libertarian Party now has 1%.
Wow. Congratulations, Libertarians. They actually went backwards because I think Gary Johnson in the last one had a way bigger percent. I think he had like 7% maybe in the last. I could be wrong. I maybe just made that up. I don't know.
Look at how messy their desk is.
Oh yeah, it's just papers.
Yeah.
The anchors. They've actually switched anchors on Fox. The guy who was like a Ken doll is gone now, and now there's like Shooter McGavin is now the.
I wish like we could hear like from like Trump and Biden in their own.
What are they going to say?
I don't know.
What are they going to say?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? What are they going to say?
I wonder if
they're,
Trump's been
they're here
tweeting.
like us, probably just trying to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on. So yeah, it's going to come down to Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Nevada. 11:50 Eastern time. Then we're going to give this 10 more minutes, see if anything happens. Don't think anything's going to happen. Shout out to everybody who took
Yes,
part in the
thank you,
live
guys.
before. I'm not expecting anybody to come on the live now. It's
It's late.
midnight. Most people, I'm sure, are going to have to go back to work tomorrow. But there was a lot of good, good participation. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Doom Nation. Hopefully
Yes,
I can
Doom Nation.
again. Hopefully I can recover that first hour, but I doubt it. So we'll see. If you were watching on live, like the last episode got fucked up because what was it that happened? This is like the opposite of the last time we had a fuck up. I feel like the last time we
The Monday Night Football episode.
Yeah.
What did we do? We just didn't press record.
Right.
We
Right.
we started the video. We didn't start the recording.
We started the we started the audio. We didn't start the video
Yeah.
on time. So the video, the audio had like bonus content on it basically.
Yep. That's what you're gonna
Yeah.
get now.
Bonus content.
Yeah.
Bonus content. If you watch, my point is, if you watched the live part, which a lot of people did in the first hour, you got some bonus content that is lost in cyberspace. So thank you for that.
Yep. Jerry says Trump needs Texas, which I really think he's going to get. Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin, he wins. He's leading in those three, but, you make the good point
Right.
of if we're going to come down to mail-in ballots.
That could swing it the
Yeah.
other way. Yes, and this could bring into play I'm going to declare victory. But
Yeah.
how can he declare? He can't declare victory if he's not winning.
Why would he? I don't listen, as crazy as Trump is, I don't think if it comes down to 270, 269, I don't think he's declaring victory. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be clear.
So all that was fucking bullshit, man. Just fear fucking mongering. Just fear. I'm another thing I'm scared of when Biden is president. It's just going to be like a fear fucking,
Yeah.
an administration of fear. You have to be afraid of this. How many years?
You know how politically correct it's going to have to get over the next 4 years if he wins? Oh my! You're not even be allowed to just talk to anyone. Just got to wear your mask just so you can't talk. Like, basically.
We're going to go back to the days of we can't call terrorists what they really are.
Yeah.
We have to call them some sort of politically correct thing. Like, we have to treat them nicely.
Yeah.
Terrorists. Because
You could come here and kill us, but I will make you
Right.
a home-cooked meal.
that's there was a whole bunch of terrorist attacks in Europe.
Yeah, France. and shit,
recently.
yeah.
And a lot of like the super left wing media outlets and whatnot there were worried about, is this going to
hurt their image.
start a new wave of Islamophobia? What? Like, people were just murdered.
Yeah.
Why are you like?
Why are you
I get the
worried
point. Why are you worried
about
about
the murderers?
Islamophobia right now? Instead of condemning the murderers,
Yeah.
of course, there's plenty of great, Muslim people who worship Islam, and they're not violent. They have nothing to do with terrorism. But like, you can't just call a spade a spade.
Yeah,
There's
no.
there's bad ones too, just like there's bad white people or like there's the Ku
Nope.
Klux Klan and shit like that. You have no problem condemning them, and in America now that's it. We just everybody's a racist, everybody's a
Yeah.
white nationalist. So like from the opposite end of the spectrum, you have no problem calling people the dirty word.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
from
yeah, yeah.
but when it comes to like a terrorist that's like an Islamic terrorist,
Yeah, who wants to murder you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. People are not. I mean, maybe there are some people like the racist Ku Klux Klan people are going
Yeah.
to say all Muslim people are bad. They're wrong. Obviously, that's why the Ku Klux Klan are pieces of shit. But like, you just call a thing is what it is. What it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does it help?
It's kind of like if
sugarcoat it?
like if we were in like the comic book world, like don't call them super villains. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can't just no,
Right.
they're a bad person. They're a villain. Like
Is Thanos wiping out half of the population of the
Yeah,
galaxy
racist.
gonna? What was his race? The Celestials or something?
he was a Titan.
Right. He was from time, but what was like his race?
I think they're
Jerry
Titans
Jerry
from-
might know
yeah,
this.
I don't know.
Anyway, like, oh, that's it. Thanos' whole race. We need to be,
Yeah.
we don't want to get them pissed off. We don't
Yeah.
want to call them what they are, galaxy killers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
wonder at this point in the election in 2016 what the numbers were like.
At this point, Trump was in the lead. I remember it clearly.
Yeah.
I was trying to stay up. I think I did stay up, honestly, somehow. I stayed up
Yeah.
the entire time until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I kept sitting there, and I'm like, man, they keep saying Hillary's gonna win. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How is she gonna win? She's been losing the whole day. I don't see how she's gonna win. And this, I have the same feeling this time the other way
Right.
around. Thanos worked solo. Yeah, but what was Thanos' race? Like, what was his race? He had there was other people like Thanos on Titan.
Yeah.
They were a race of something, weren't they? This political conversation turns into Thanos somehow.
Well, they finally have Trump over 200 points.
What the fuck do I know?
I told
man?
you, Titans.
Titans. Okay. Well, yep. Is this going to turn into Titanophobia now?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about Titanophobia? He just
Yeah, he
wiped
just
out half
wiped out,
the
yeah.
country. It's bananas, man, how each station has different results at this moment in time. Aren't they watching each other?
Who's this?
Like the news. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
like,
yeah. Oh,
is
like
it-
CNN.
you
They're
mean
now
tell me,
watching
like-
Fox. Yeah.
right, like someone in the
Trump just won Texas.
that might have been what pushed him up.
Yeah.
But then again, like it's not 100% of the
Yeah, it's
vote is in, so like
78%.
Fox is making the decision to call it
I know.
on
yeah.
Texas, and then Fox is adding the electoral votes to Trump's.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe CBS or CNN or whoever is like, I'm not calling this yet. They're not making the decision to call it
Well-
yet, and they're not adding to the tally.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of shit online before about how they might walk back Virginia, and I don't see anything
Yeah.
changing for Virginia. I really don't. That's fine, but like that's also a possibility too when this gets up to 100% of the ballots being counted. That some of them might change again. If it's that close. If it's at 70, well, I guess once you're at like 76%, I'm sure like the overwhelming majority of it just
Yeah.
shows that it's in favor of them.
Yeah, so you're saying for what? Maybe like Texas it might change, but I don't think like
don't
Texas is
think for
having
Texas,
the same
but,
issue with the mail-in
Yeah.
things that some of the other states are. We're going to have to look into what exactly happened in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia specifically for our next episode and talk about that because that's just a labor issue.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean? We're going to have to look into that. Seems very weird. Maybe it's just maybe it's just the Eagles fans, being fucking stupid again and just tearing up everybody's ballots for no reason. It's
Dude,
11:57.
Google just shuts down on me whenever it wants, man. Can't even load like CNN.
Jerry says there was a water main break. How that impacts counting ballots?
Wonder how many ballots were washed.
I was going to say,
away.
did they
Yeah.
flush all the ballots,
Yeah.
the Trump ballots down the
Yeah.
down the pipe, down the sewer system in Philadelphia? So that's what the water main was breaking for. All right, buddy. I'm gonna.
Let's.
You
hold on.
want to wrap it up? I'm gonna let you make the decision how long we want to go here. It's almost midnight.
Hey, yeah,
and
well, I
think
got
we're-
workies to do tomorrow.
Yep, and there's
Yeah, see, CNN has Biden at 205 and Trump at 114. Man, these numbers are so far off. But like Texas and Florida, like Fox has called a lot more states than
Right, but that's like their decision. It's not
California,
like
yeah.
some official has called anything. You know, that's the way these elections go. Honestly, you know, the candidates watch the news, and then the news makes a decision on when they say a race is called. There's no like official, you know, call of a race until all the ballots
Yeah.
are you know 100% of the results are in. But when you see the writing on the wall, one of the candidates will usually give up.
yeah.
And that's how it's gone for the most part.
Well,
I don't think
we
that's
can-
happening
yeah.
tonight. No, because
No.
as I still think Biden's going to win because the mail-in voting is going to lean in his favor most likely. But I don't see any reason why Trump would give up right now because maybe
No.
that's not going to happen. You know,
Yeah, no.
so
There's no way
it could be
Trump
the
would
middle of the
on-
night,
Yeah.
maybe in a day or two, maybe tomorrow morning. We'll know. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get an alert on our phone or something if something
Yeah.
happens in the middle of the night. So I say wrap it up, buddy.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, Doom Nation, thank you guys. I know this was hard to stick through. We're all watching the same thing in anticipation. That meme you showed me was great of everybody in Game of Thrones sitting around the fire the night
Yeah.
before the battle.
Yep.
Hopefully tomorrow it won't be the purge, and we'll all be able to reconvene peacefully and happily. So, Doom Nation, thank you guys. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And Mr. Z just
Yep.
joined, and we're leaving.
Yep.
Go bye.
Exactly where we're leaving.
Yeah. So, check us out on Instagram at 2DoomMen_podcast and on everything else, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Gmail, it's at 2DoomMen.
All right. Don't riot.
Yeah,
Ain't worth
don't
it.
riot.